hear that? It's like the pulse in the street, a hole in the chest. You hear that? It's like the pulse in the street, a hole in the chest.
starts in
You hear that? It's like the pulse of the street, a hole in the chest.
Yo! Welcome back, my people. Welcome to another live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is safe. And I hope everybody is enjoying the stuff that we're about to talk about. So I want to give a big shout out to the people in the room. A big shout out to the people in the background right now. But before we start, before I let anybody in, there's a couple of things we got to talk about. A couple of things we got to discuss. A couple of things that we have to basically break down because for the most part, when it comes to certain relationships, when it comes to men and women interactions, it basically goes down pretty much goes down within two ways. It goes down the way of, a feminist, how a women feminists see it, and how masculine men see it. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much goes down two ways. And within those two ways that it goes down, things will occur and people and ideologies will clash. And when those type of things happen, you're going to start having certain people, disagreeing with one another, certain people, clashing with their own identity and stuff. And then things will start occurring that, might be detrimental to the relationship. I want to give a big shout out to Real Deal, Morena. Shout out to all of y'all. So we're definitely going to speak about this. But first, before we speak about it, let's play the video, and I'm not gonna break it down, but I'm gonna be basically talking over it. Well, in certain parts, and we're gonna basically see everything that went down and give our reactions to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna do. So, before we start, I want to give a huge shout out to Rakim. Yo, Rakim, what's going on, bro?
My boy, Radical Latino, man, from New York all the way back to Chi-Town. What's going on with you, bro?
What's up, Rakim Allah? And I want to give a huge shout out to Cornell. What's going on, dude? Yo, Cornell. You're. Oh, maybe he's Yo, come back into the stream. Just anyway, so I want to give a huge shout out to these people. Have you seen this Kevin Samuels interaction with this feminist?
Yes, I saw snippets of it.
Yeah,
I thought it was very interesting. Kevin Samuels is shaking up a storm, man. He's shaking up a storm right now, and I think it's well needed. I think it's about time that men start voicing our opinions because it's getting to the point that you're shamed if you're quiet and you're shamed if you speak up. So
100% true. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna watch the video and then we'll break it down in our perspective and stuff like that. All right?
Okay.
Let me get it all together.
Like, watch me do my thing.
Oh, I've been here for a few.
All
minutes.
right.
Hey guys, how we doing?
We're good, Kevin.
So basically, let me just give you guys the breakdown real quick. This is Kevin Samuels going basically he's going to be going at and breaking down that the girl with the plot with the silver type of hair. He's going to be going at her and breaking her stuff down. So this is so we're going to just to give you guys the background. So here we goes.
Ben, how are you?
Good. So the ladies are in the middle. Her name is Sable.
Amanda, but close enough.
Amanda. The woman to her right, your name is?
Adriana.
Adriana, and the woman to your left?
Janina.
Okay, one of the things I kept hearing, my name is Kevin Samuels, by the way, nice to meet you. One of the things I kept hearing is the notion of fairness. Why is that so important to you, Amanda?
I hate to admit it, but I do. Like, I'm half a man. I'm just a pretty girl. And I don't think that I should have to accept less in life because I was born with different equipment. I think that's bullshit.
Well, if you're half a man, then you should understand this full concept that men don't care about fair.
I don't have to care about fair either.
All right. No, wait, hold on. We're pausing it right now. So far, what do you think?
I think he's absolutely correct. If history has shown us anything, is that men don't care about fairness. When you look at the way things are constructed, and when you look at, and that's something that us as men have had to deal with forever. We're told from our childhood that life isn't fair. Remember that, when you say, but this is not fair. We've told from our childhood that life isn't fair. And we have to accept that as we get older, and we realize it may be situations where we may get screwed over. It may be situations where we may get double crossed, but we don't get the luxury of having the emotions to say, well, that's just not fair, and I feel this way. No one cares how we feel.
Yeah, it's pretty much because this is something we learn. If it's not from child support, if it's not from the legal system, we learn it through dating. You know what I'm saying? Women put certain restrictions on who they're gonna date. You gotta be 6 something, you gotta be this, you gotta be that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand where you're coming from. I got Jones in the building. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's good, buddy? How you doing?
I'm chilling. What did you by the way, have you seen this video before?
I have not. Tell me what's going on.
All right, so this dude, basically Kevin Samuels, is pretty much breaking down these women's talking points, especially the one in the middle, because she's a feminist, and he's breaking down their talking points, and so far she's complaining that it's not fair for her. And he said, and then Kevin Samuels basically said, well, men don't care about fairness because this is something that we basically have to accept. We always have to accept unfair situations. So do you agree with that so far?
I think, in my opinion, maybe I'm just kind of like saying out of the blue, but I think equality is just much more important.
Yeah.
In relationships. So
yeah.
But all I can say is I do disagree with extreme feminism in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm gonna just keep on playing it to see to just get our reaction. So let's go.
No. Men don't care about fair, or else we wouldn't conquer other people. You're of European descent. Looks like you're from your people are from the Caucasus Mountains, European descent. So
I am very white, yes.
That's fine. And some of them, and there's a lot, and between a lot of warring tribes, Germania, the Franks, if we cared about fairness, we would just let everybody stay on their land. Vikings wouldn't have raided and pillaged. England would have stayed on its island. Scotland would have been all right. Ireland would have been all right. Matter of fact, Hong Kong wouldn't have been a British protectorate for how many years? Oh, until the last, 30 or 40? Men don't care about fair. We conquer. It's winners and losers. Right? You're half a man.
I didn't know that only men were part of conquering.
Well, name me some great female warriors that have dominated the planet.
Well, I mean, I'm learning new education here, which is only men conquer.
Okay, no, I gotta pause it for a second. Hold on. I gotta pause it for a second. What Kevin Samuel is saying is to me 100% true. If there is something else that I haven't heard or whatever, please let me know. But so far, he's right. Men do conquer. You know, we not only conquer situations, but we conquer in relationships and other facets of life. You know, I kind of feel, to be completely honest, I kind of feel how the way she deflected that statement. Not only did she deflect it, but she kind of used her like little white privilege, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm learning new education. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think?
I think you're absolutely correct. I'm surprised she didn't say. I thought the most one answer that a woman would give when he said name me some female conquerors, they would have been like Cleopatra. But,
No.
Yeah,
yeah, I definitely think she did just use her privilege just to, like, she kept deflecting on what he was saying, and then when he would catch her and what she was saying, then she'll turn around and try to spin it back, you know.
yeah,
Like what you were saying, what he was just saying, men conquer. That even spills into race. Me as a black man, radical Latino, you as a Hispanic man, how much do we face discrimination every day? You know, based off of the fact that we are two minority groups living in a country that's been conquered by another dominant group.
yeah,
But we have to go through the system. We have to deal with different things that another group may not have to deal with. So, and that's a part of life. We have to live like that, you know. We have to accept that, and we have to find ways to maneuver
and even
through it. You know?
and the funny thing is, even within the system that we acknowledge and that we live in, we still prevail. You know what I'm saying?
still
We
thrive.
still prevail. So that is something, you know, beautiful about Black and Latin people, that we still find a way to even go through, you know, the certain hurdles that are presented to us.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
And
what you
obstacles.
were
Yep.
saying, I'm sorry, I just wanted to make the statement. What you were saying, we don't get a chance to go to our wives and our families and say how unfair things are. We can't go as Black and Hispanic men. We can't go back home and say, well, I wasn't able to do this because this is against me or this is unfair and everything like that. Our wives and our children, our children's mouths is not going to take unfair for food. And our wives is not going to take unfair for I couldn't get it done. We're forced to go out and get it done. We may have to deal with BS and different things like that, but we have to actually go out there and maneuver through it and thrive and pick up, you know, different things to, you know, keep our survival going.
Facts. Shout out to Crazy Boy. Said a white woman telling a Black man that life is unfair. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep on playing it. But Jones, what do you got to say to this? You basically agree with what Rakim Allah said?
Yeah. I mean, from my experience, you know, just being raised, you know, with a single mother, African American mother, you know, all I have to say is it's like I said, it's irresponsible to raise a boy and to be feminist.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to overcome through obstacles and through
setting them up for failure?
Yeah, exactly. You know, especially for ones who have disability and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You have to overcome.
And what you're saying, what he's saying is just like, for instance, some of these boys, then you have women that, now a lot of women have gained the power, but the power is working against their nature, where they want things to be equal, but at the same time they want men to be traditional men and them be non-traditional.
Yeah, and we're gonna touch that. We're gonna touch that. Well, that's gonna be touched upon in a little bit. But I got my homie Fighter Complex here. Yo, what's up, bro?
What up? Yeah, I know
what's
you were
going
live.
on?
So, you know you were live, so you know I just did a spontaneous stream. So I was like, all right, let me just end it and join
Oh,
yours.
thank you so much. Thank you. And I got Denise in the building. What's going on, Denise? Denise, you're muted. Your mic is muted if you're speaking. Denise. Okay, she'll come back when she figures it out. So Fighter, did you see so far? Have you seen this video? No.
Nah.
Okay, so far, Kevin Samuels is going at the feminist woman right here in the middle, and basically she's saying that life is unfair and all this other stuff, and he basically said that, well, men, we know life is unfair, but we don't care about that. What we do is try to prevail through it. You know what I'm saying? And basically, he's just breaking her stuff down. So that's basically the cliff notes. So you could basically get caught up. So I'm gonna keep on playing it.
Conquer.
No.
I mean, that's what you're telling me, right?
No. Well, see, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to switch that. I'm asking about fairness. And I said about fairness. Why is fairness so important? You said because you're half a man.
Because if you expect something of me, I should be allowed to expect the same of you. And if you can't offer me that, you don't deserve to be in my life.
But that has nothing to do with fairness.
It has everything to do with fairness.
No, fairness means you get an opportunity. Fairness doesn't mean you get an outcome.
True.
Wait. I got it. 100% true.
That's 100%.
100% true. Hold on. I gotta replay that back. Hold on. I gotta replay that
bro.
back. Hold on.
No, fairness means you get an opportunity. Fairness doesn't mean you get an outcome.
Ugh. Dude, that shit was, bro. That's all right. I agree with it. Fairness means you get an opportunity, not an outcome. That's 100% true. What do you guys got to say about that?
I mean, but everybody, I mean, that goes against what everybody, the way everyone thinks nowadays. Everyone thinks that everyone should be on equal level, playing field. Everyone isn't doing the same work.
Getting their hand hold, crossing the street, and all this other bullshit. They're not supposed to work for anything. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. If let me just keep on playing it. Oh my God.
You get an interview, not guaranteed a job.
No, you're not. But I work very, very hard to ensure that I keep it.
Well, if that's the case, you should. If that's the case,
right?
If that's the case, then if that's the case, you should be able to secure the things you want. So you should have no problem.
Obviously not. Not when men are out here believing like you don't have to be fair.
Well, those two things can't exist in the same place.
I haven't even been part of human history.
Wait. Hold on. She said something that made no sense. She said something that made no sense. He basically said, fairness doesn't mean that you'll get an outcome. It just means you get the opportunity to prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? And her response to that was, men don't play fair. How is that even a correlation?
What the fun?
You know what I'm saying? How is that even a correlation? Yeah. That made no type of sense. So she basically just deflected from her own responsibilities.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. A lot of some people are not used to having a debate or a conversation with people that are actually articulate. So when he covers her talking points, she don't really know how to react to that. So she just goes, she just tries to deflect, back from that, because a lot of people really don't want to sit down and critically think about their beliefs. Some people don't want to do that. Some people have been taught, especially like certain feminists have been taught that their belief system is what's correct. And, people, they go about it blindly believing that, and not questioning anything, not questioning how things are built, how things are structured, how nature is structured, and anything like that. So when you actually have somebody that comes and challenge that, it kind of catches them off guard.
Yeah. I got Cornell Brown in the house. What's going on, bro?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
You got anything to say? Because I know you were trying to come in. I know you've been listening to the whole thing. You got anything to add to the thing?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Do you got anything to add to the conversation?
Not right now. I'm just listening. I've been fumbling with this microphone, so.
All right, gotcha.
Tuning in and out.
All right, so I got my homie Roy Chess in the place. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one about the fairness, man.
Oh
I'm gonna have
man,
to
really,
disagree
bro?
with you,
Okay, okay,
man.
okay, okay, okay.
Dancing.
So, well, this is good. This is good because this is what I want. I want some disagreements. I want people to voice their opinion. So, all right, what about the fairness you disagree with?
So, fairness, we could talk about different contexts, but let's think of it in the workplace context. That if somebody
Okay.
gets an hour break, it's fair that you get an hour break if you're in the same department, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So that's what. So it's not something that you have to earn. It's not something that it's an opportunity. It's a standard. That if we are on the same level, there's certain standards that both of us, everybody on that level, is entitled to. It is kind of an entitlement once it's a standard, because if you get it and I don't, there better be a good reason why you get it and I don't.
Yeah.
You understand?
Would you? No. I get what you're saying. Would you think that in certain contexts, that fairness that you just laid down actually changes within the context? For example, that fairness should not apply within getting a job for a job interview. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, in other words, you shouldn't just get a job because you're a minority. You should get a job because you're qualified. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think that will also apply?
Right. In that case, the standard is supposed to be you're supposed to get the job because you're qualified, right? That would be
Yeah.
the standard.
Yeah.
So I don't think it applies in that case, because the other person is looking for a handout or a hookup. They get the job because
Yeah.
they're the boss's nephew or the niece or something like that,
Yeah.
and that's why they're
I
interviewing.
I believe when he talked about, maybe somebody could chime in and correct me, but when Kevin Samuels was talking about fairness, I don't believe he was talking about in that type of context. I think he was talking about in a social aspect of the context where fairness is an opportunity and not something just given just because you have a choice, just because you're a certain minority. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's what he meant by it.
Let me tell you something. In the world, women are just more agreeable. When let's say in a job interview, when you're asking for a raise or something, women are not that negotiable. They're just gonna take it. A man is going to say, "Oh no, I want this versus this." I feel like even in society, women are more agreeable.
Actually, that's actually 100% true, Fighter. There was a study that came out a couple of years ago that said the reason why many women still earn what they earn from the beginning of their career is because women are very timid to actually negotiate for a raise. Men are not. So
It's just a man's nature. It's just a man's nature.
it actually proves your point. So I'm gonna keep on playing it, and I'm gonna keep on playing it, and then I'm gonna pause it whenever something interesting happens. All right.
It's just men, and all we care about is
Well,
conquering.
no. You just said you work very hard, so you should get the outcomes. See, if hard work was all that required, then we would almost be guaranteed. Hard work gets you a ticket to the dance. It doesn't guarantee you the top spot. How many? Who lost the Super Bowl, guys?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Can you say they worked hard this year?
Very hard.
Number two, men don't worry about fairness. We worry about winning. And to the victor goes the spoils. Just like, you know what? How many times you've gotten to a club into VIP for free when some ugly chicks had to pay full price?
Introducing the F80 treadmill from Soul Fitness, a machine that can help you push your workout further.
Wait, hold on.
Is that my fault?
Hold on.
The VIP for free.
Hold on.
Go the spoils. Just like, you know what? How many times you've gotten to a club into VIP for free when some ugly chicks had to pay full price?
Is that my fault?
No. I've asked how many times it happened before you go down that path.
I mean, plenty of times in Miami.
Exactly, but that's not fair, is it?
Well, please don't forget I'm not from here.
But that's not the point, ma'am. That's not fair, is it?
I also don't care about those things.
But so you only care about fairness when it doesn't benefit you.
I just don't go to clubs that often.
But that's not the point. I asked you, how many times you've gone to a club where you got in for free, where ugly chicks or less attractive chicks had to pay? And you know that's happened. You didn't say, I'm still, excuse me, sir. Even though I'm attractive, I demand that you charge me full price. That's fair, right?
Okay, so because
Is that fair?
into places and get
Is that fair?
that means that I should
Is that
get
fair? Before we go that, I'll answer your question if you at least answer mine. Is that fair?
life isn't fair.
Well, if that's the case, you accept it in the sexual marketplace too.
It doesn't mean I have to accept other people's
No.
bullshit.
Well, see, the thing is, ma'am, see what you've proven, like many feminists and many women, you're okay with the double standards that benefit you. But the ones you don't like, you just throw at the wind, use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right to deflect and dismiss guys who are normally intimidated by this thing. I'm not. I'm just challenging you.
Oh, okay, there was a lot that just happened. Okay, Roy Ches, do you change your stance on what fairness was based on this context, or you still believe it?
I still believe it because what he just showed was that we all seem to have a connotation of fair, that if this one chick gets in the club for free, I have to let them all in. And she fell into that trap by falling into that. I don't care as long as it applies to me. So that's where he caught her on that.
I do see that she tried to deflect in a lot of things, and something that he said, Kevin Samuel says, is actually something kind of true. Some of these feminists tend to always flip-flop on what fairness is when it applies to them. You know what I'm saying?
We still have a common understanding what fairness is, because if
of course,
I do it here, I got to do it over there, and that's what gets them all the time.
No, you're right, but of course, do you think? But like I said from the very first question I asked, do you think that certain fairness is changeable within context?
No, because there's going to be a standard. Fairness operates off of some kind of standard.
Okay.
It should be a universal standard. Now, if it's not a universal standard, then we have favoritism. We have nepotism.
Yeah. I mean, when you go to the club, they always, they always let the women go in for free before 11, and men have to pay.
No, but there's levels to this. We can categorize this. At a certain level, all these people at this level get this treatment. All the people at level 2 get this treatment. All the people at level 3.
I just told you a double standard, and it's like you didn't even hear it.
No, you're not getting the categories. There's categories to this. So everybody doesn't fit into one just general category.
And I think Roy Chess, I think there's categories to fairness as well based on this on the context.
It can't work that way, because then you just have people making things up on the spot.
But he just gave a great example. One of the fairness on the context that we're talking about is women not paying because they're beautiful and going inside the club.
Right.
He just proved it. So there is a context within it.
No. That means somebody's violating the standard. That's all that means.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. See, most people do violate the standard if people don't say anything. Like that's really what he's covering, is the fact that a lot of things, like what Roy was saying about favoritism and different things like that. Most people participate in favoritism and different things like that if it's not called out, and that's unfortunately most of the world, and that's what they're operating on when it comes to fairness and unfair.
It sounds more like fairness centering around boundaries of certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of domain of discourse for it to be. Like I know, like I was in the military before, and for example, there's different treatments to different ranks. So officers get treated way better than enlisted people. But when you're in that rank, you get treated the same. If you're a captain and I'm a captain, we have that same range of opportunities. As opposed to a general, 4-star generals get way more. They don't get they get way more. But
shout out to Sophia. She said, "I love getting into the club for free." All right, so there we go. But Sophia will not pay for a man's meal, though. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Hey, Radical, what you was covering, there's one thing on what you was covering. What he was saying is true. A lot of people don't care about fairness or unfairness as long as it benefits them, which is what he was explaining to the woman. Like, I bet you she didn't turn around and say to the bouncer, "You're letting us in here for free. That's not fair. You need to let all the other women in for free." No, she went right into the club and went on about her business and enjoyed the free opportunity.
I got
I've seen it.
Yeah. I got Melanated Knight here. What's going on, Melanated Knight? What's going on, bro?
Nothing much. And you?
I'm chilling. You know, I'm doing good. What are your thoughts on this video? Have you seen this video? Have you? If not, are you seeing it now? And what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times because
Okay.
I've known Kevin since he first came on here. So
Yeah.
like, but what in particular did you want me to touch on?
So for what do you think about so far what's going on? You know, about the fairness angle of it.
Well, I think he's right. I mean, I think where we have gotten is women think because men built the world that it's automatically we have advantages. It's automatically fair for us, and that's not the case. It's more fair for them than it is us. We can say in certain things, but like I do believe what he said. Like,
I agree.
the world's not fair, but the thing is, women always like to want things their way and not account for. You have to, like I said in the I think 2 live streams back, that you're an adult. A woman is an adult.
Yeah.
So if you want things to be, if you want things just to go your way, we might as well treat you like a child.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate the term that life is not fair. That's just inaccurate. Human beings have domain on this world, so don't tell me life is not fair. It's human beings that run the world, so it's a human being that's treating you unfair. Somebody's being.
You're going into some metaphysical shit, bro. God damn.
Certain human beings that got more advantages than other ones, and those are the ones that wield the power that makes things difficult for ones that don't have any, or ones that's not born.
Right. So that's abuse. That's an abuse of power. That's not. It's not that life is unfair, man. That's somebody dogging you out.
That's part of life not being fair.
No. That's human being, man. That don't say me life.
White Chess. All right, let me ask you this. White Chess. Let me ask you this. All right, so there's a homeless guy that probably lives near where you live at, and he's not making the amount of money you're making. So are you okay with giving him half of your salary, half of your paycheck, just so everything could be fair?
That's a bad example because you're proving his point. You're proving his point. Humans. Right. You're proving his point.
Wait, no. But are you avoid Chess? What I'm saying, okay, it's not fair for him. So are you going to give him half of your paycheck or no?
No. Fairness has to be in a context. What is not fair? I don't understand.
Basically, Fighter is saying, are you willing to balance things out, sacrificing your benefits to balance things out?
No, I'm not obligated to do that. But if I wanted to do
you're
that,
not being fair because you're not balancing it out for the other person.
I do. Wait. Hold on. I do understand. I do understand where Roy Chess is coming from, but in the same time, let me throw you something, Roy Chess, because you said you hate that life isn't fair because it's all humans. That's some like real deep metaphysical, type of way of thinking. I like that, but let me tell you something. In nature, right? In nature, if a lion is chasing a monkey, let's say, and that monkey goes up a 6-foot tree, that lion doesn't have the ability to climb that 6-foot tree. Right there is showing that life isn't fair. Humans have nothing to do with it.
I mean, but lions can't climb trees, and lions and monkeys are not in the same ecosystem. But okay.
Right, but we're talking about
it's a hypothetical.
Not like a jaguar, though.
Listen, this is not National Geographic, okay? Let's stick to the point. Let's stick to the goddamn point. What I'm saying is that's proven life is not fair. You know what I'm saying?
That's like saying because birds fly, that's not fair, right? Because you have an ability that I don't have, that doesn't make it unfair. Fairness has to be compared. Fairness has to be compared of people of the same kind.
Well, Ray, let's get back to the subject because this is a whole different thing from what we originally talking about. So, we can say that for something.
It's the same concept.
We talking about women and Kevin Samuels. We're not talking.
But you know what? Yeah. But you know what? It's funny because
go ahead, Jones. Yeah.
It's funny when you speak about it because I'm not gonna lie. I've been on 15 Carnival cruises, and I remember. I don't know if this.
Bro, 15? What the fuck you do, bro? Shit, you a captain?
No. I wish. You know, I've seen when I went on in the clubs. I don't know if this. I've seen this woman. I thought she was drunk at first, but because you can hear her out loud, so it was. I saw this woman telling this guy like, "Would you pay me for Would you pay me for a drink?" But the woman wouldn't pay a man for a drink because a man is paying almost like 50 to 100, more of $100 for alcohol.
Yeah.
In a night, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's to speak of unfairness.
Yeah.
But for fairness, you have for me is more of setting boundaries. Like, okay, if I pay you a drink, would you pay me a drink too? You know what I'm saying? Like some kind of equality in it. But
Yeah.
nowadays it's like no, that they get away with a whole bunch of shit. Like I don't get it.
Yeah. We got Sundown in the room. What's going on, Sundown? Yo, Sundown.
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Do you got any thoughts on the video so far?
Yeah, Kevin is stating facts, and he's hitting her with an intellectual, like from an intellectual standpoint.
Yeah.
And she can't really rebuttal what he's saying. So she's looking more ignorant than he is. So that's my little look on it so far.
Anybody, if they want to chime in, real quick, Miss H says men want to be pampered these days.
I disagree. I disagree 100%.
Never.
When you look at what's going on right now, like the feminist agenda has been pushed so far to the point that women don't realize how much they're pampered here in the States. If you go to different countries, such as in countries in the Middle East, countries, different countries in Europe and stuff like that, a lot of women are way worse off than what they are here in the States. Like a lot of women, see, the thing is, a lot of women have hit a glass ceiling when it comes to this feminist movement, where they got the power and they want to add men to their program, and it doesn't work that way. It's like a lot of women, they and a lot of people in the feminist movement want things to be like, they want things to be equal to their benefit, but they don't want to deal with a lot of the responsibility and accountability that men have to do.
Correct.
That men have to deal with. So
correct.
Okay. Okay. Wait, hold on. We're gonna get Bronze Bird here. What's going on, Bronze Bird?
Cheers for the dough, man.
What's up? What are your thoughts on this topic so far?
I mean, we're used to seeing the dude Kevin Samuels go on the whole entire I ain't gonna say tirade, but having a discussion with women like this, and usually it's just exposing a file. You know what I mean? Just what we see. I'm not gonna place no blame on anybody, no blame on the women, and no blame on Kevin Samuels. But the conversation is always up, and you see the inadequacies with a lot of the talking points that's being made. Oh yeah, it's an unfair advantage on our side, but then it's an unfair advantage over here, and it's just like, nah, man. I start to see both sides. But it's like when you talk to the women, they already have an objective to look for the cherry picking tactics. They look for those entire points to say that it's so unfair on our side, but in these countries, these women have it worse. And my thing about it is that's none of your business. You live in America. You should be focused on the first world country you live in, and that's why I don't really get upset. But this is why I laugh at it, because y'all so focused on all the other women, don't understand what their divorce rate is like, don't understand what their what their production to the earth, what they give the babies and the baby rates and all that. You don't know. You're just talking hot air. You're talking out your ass. So this right here is just like, I just enjoyed watching it, man. I have really no thoughts, but I was just like, I just see a lot of like things that I thought was gonna happen came true.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep on playing this, and then I'll pause it whenever something wow happens. All right, so here goes.
in your positions. You're
Highly-
okay with it not being fair when it benefits you.
You're oversimplifying a very complex situation.
No,
and
it's not really complex. There are no such thing as loyal. The concept of a loyal, highly effective, competitive alpha is a female notion.
And have to continue to compete with other pretty girls because men are too simple to stick with one.
Well, how about this? The kind of men you're talking about are simple enough to make the light you live in, the air conditioning, all the stuff that you, hold on, excuse me, ma'am. The simple men built the world that you use.
I built my own world. So
no,
again,
ma'am, you used the world we built. No, ma'am, you used the world men built. Name me 5 great female inventors. I'll give you one. Madam Curie.
I can't believe you. So you're telling me that men and
no, ma'am, I just asked you a question and you just no, you go see you're answering questions with questions. You're talking about building. Name me 5 great female inventors or builders. Madam Curie.
5 inventors or builders. That's a really great question. That really is. Yeah, I was gonna. Well, also I don't remember the lady's name, but there's a bunch of buildings in Miami.
Go on and do it. Go on and do it. Take it. She's afraid. Go on and do it. Want to get on in there, pretty girl? You got it.
Miami was established by a woman.
Congratulations. But the Miami, the land was established by, but this country was first landed by who? Men or women?
Men.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
And see, the thing is, I've done this show about survival, and you can go back to Bear Grylls Island number 2. Man, you can only be a feminist in a first world country.
What's your baby's favorite?
Wait. Fuck this little ugly ass bitch. God damn. Hold on. Wait.
There's a hierarchy of
ugly.
needs. You are correct.
Hold on.
Radical, you said she ugly, Radical. She not ugly.
Hold on. In that commercial, bitch looked a hit. Hold on.
She not ugly.
He was like, "Get off my screen."
There's a hierarchy of needs.
Wait. He said, hold on.
Man, you can only be a feminist in a first world country.
Yeah. Oh, God damn. That shit was a bar. What the yo? That's actually true. I don't see feminists going all out and marching and stuff in Iraq, Pakistan. You know what I'm saying? Israel. You know what I'm saying?
The only two countries that you see high feminist movements is the U.S., Canada, and
Europe.
Britain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let me just keep on playing this. That
And
was a bar.
and that one Muslim girl that got killed. Remember?
Oh, yo, that's true. No, actually, that is true. That is true. They didn't want her to leave the state, right? I think the country or something like that, and they were fighting for her to stay in the country because she wanted to go to Europe or something like that for refuge. You know what I'm saying? And because she's a feminist or whatever, they just killed her after they denied her.
Yeah, you want to talk about oppression? There you go.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Women are seen
All right,
as inferior there, though, so that's different.
Yeah, let's keep it. All
right, before you go, there was also a feminist that I forgot. I think she was from Italy, and she wanted to travel from I think it was Italy to like some part in the Middle East to show that women weren't mistreated in those countries, and then she got raped and killed. I don't know what her name was, but you can look it up. You could say Italian traveler gets raped and murdered, and I think it was Turkey.
Damn.
Oh man.
She was a feminist. Yeah. She was a feminist.
Just to cover.
Those are Islamic countries, though. That's they disrespect women a lot over there.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make one statement. What you guys were just saying, it was actually a video where a man actually came up to his wife's job over there in Turkey, and I believe he had a disagreement with his wife. This man actually pulled out a knife and started stabbing his wife in front of everybody. And a lot of the men actually ran out and got out the way, and he actually killed his wife right there.
Yeah.
And nobody stepped in and interfered or anything. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I think what you have now is you have a lot of feminists who just have a thirst for power. They've tasted power, and now they want more and more and more, and they keep pushing the envelope where and then right now, like, pretty much a lot of men are being feminized, but then they want men to be masculine when they need them to be protectors. and it doesn't work that way.
Well, let me say this, man. Male feminists ain't real men.
No,
they're not. So
yeah, we know that.
Yeah. I just like to put that out there in the surface. You know, they panty pandlers. That's
Yo,
what they
not for nothing, bro. Like when I interacted with one of those like male feminists, bro, not for nothing, bro. It felt like I was talking to another female.
Yeah. Yeah. And see,
yeah.
And what you're saying, that's the sad thing about the situation is that most of us, we grew up in the 90s, right? We grew up in the 80s, the 90s. Those was the last areas of, masculine men, where to the point if something goes down, we know how to defend ourselves. We know how to protect our women. We know how to, read body language if it need be to protect, our families and everything like that. A lot of these kids that's being born that are raised by feminine women don't have any of that. Like a lot of these boys, to the point that even when you see the marches and everything, like when you look at some of these marches, whether it be BLM or different marches where liberal marches, a lot of these boys, if they're going up against these people that are coming with rifles and guns, you got them dancing in the middle of the street. Like, do you not see these people that's coming with these rifles and these guns, and none of you are armed and everything? You all dancing in the middle of the damn street, twerking, and what the hell is going on?
Yeah, all I'm saying is it shows the weakness, not of a society, but of a generation. When something serious is going down, and the first thing you do is pop your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That right there, it says a lot. It really does says a lot. And I feel, to be honest with you, I feel like whoever is in control of this whole thing is doing a really great job in feminizing men nowadays.
Yeah, because a lot of women are complaining about the same men that they're raising. They're raising them to be this way, and then they turn around and act like they don't know what's going on. When a lot of masculinity is not something that's on a person's hard drive, just like femininity is not something that's on a woman's hard drive.
Yeah, check this out. I got into, so I dated this chick with the kid, right? The kid was like maybe like 10, 11 or whatever the case is. So he already knew what was going down between me and his mom. You know what I'm saying? So she told me at that time, she was like, yo, I want to put him in Little League or whatever the case is. I'm like, oh yeah, you should do it. I used to do it when I was little. It kind of gave me more of confidence to, speak to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, teamwork and all that other stuff, right? So she goes like, yeah, but I don't want him to lose and feel some type of way. I'm like, what?
Huh?
Exactly. So she goes, yeah, I don't want him to lose a game or get yelled at and feel some type of way. I'm like, but that's the whole point of a game. Winning, losing.
Right.
That happened with
saying?
Marshawn Lynch. You remember when Marshawn Lynch was coaching that team and he got into an argument with all those moms because they said that he was being too rough with the boys?
Yeah. I don't. At the end of the day, sports wouldn't be sports if everybody's a winner.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, last time I checked, I'm not gonna pay for a pay-per-view boxing match when both of them are gonna win at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Yeah.
But do you know what the? Oh, my bad.
No, you get. I was just saying, like, even then, there's a quote saying, "A warrior wins and loses battles, but even though he loses, how are you supposed to learn?"
Yeah.
How are you supposed to learn?
I learned. I learned how to talk to women by getting dissed a lot. You know what I'm saying? Women used to reject me, and I used to learn. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe I should just flip it in how I approach them. You know what I'm saying? That's how I learned. Nobody is gonna learn by just winning all the time. You feel me?
Right.
On a smaller level, I feel like.
Go ahead, Summer. My bad.
On a lower level, I feel like the whole participation trophies and everybody wins, that discourages people to actually go out and give it 100, because what's the point if they're still going to get recognized? Whereas if you're not going to get recognized for being subpar, then you're going to try a lot harder.
You know how many industries will just crumble if everybody wins? You know what I'm saying? Nike will be out of business. What's the point of having shoes if everybody's gonna win? You know what I'm saying? You just need to show up and you get a trophy. You know what I'm saying? You know how many industries? First of all, the black market of steroids will be completely gone if everybody just won.
But Rad, do you know what the big problem about this is? Is a lot of these women think that these conversations are just YouTube. It's like I told somebody back in the day, I was like, you guys keep thinking that, oh, it's just YouTube. It's real life. It's either how you truly feel or an exaggeration of how you feel, depending on how you're portraying it. So a lot of them thinking that, oh, it's just YouTube with Kevin, but you seeing these this stupidity on YouTube. So if you have that stupidity on YouTube, you're gonna tell me that don't exist out in the real world.
And
what
this
on this site?
what he's saying,
I wanna introduce everybody to Mr. Research. Mr. Research, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, my brother? I'm glad you having this get together over here. I'm so disappointed in YouTube. Don't even give me my darn notifications. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah, you're not the only one, bro.
Hey,
let me give you a black observation though, real quick.
Go ahead.
You know, in our community, it's so funny because when I was a teenager in 80s going into 90s, the older dudes would holler at the younger girls, and nobody thought nothing of it. Right?
Yep. Same thing in the 90s, the 2000s.
And so if you was a young dude, you put your conversation in, you didn't even care about getting rejected. It's like whatever, it ain't no big thing.
Yeah.
And the chick was like either they would get with the older dude, and the older dude would lock her down, or she come back to the streets with some sense of you better appreciate a regular dude. Then I think what happened in the late 90s and 2000s is that women kept telling their daughters, don't mess with older dudes. And I think a lot of dudes in high school, junior high, just start getting BJs just for showing up. Like no game necessary. They getting whatever in the hallway, all type of stuff, right? So now I think dudes have hit their late 20s and their 30s, and they ain't getting it like that. And you got to put in conversation, and I think dudes is getting discouraged with how they used to get treated versus how they getting treated now, because these chicks are still the same. We should be ignoring them. We should take a lesson from the Latin dudes. Throw your romance out, but if the chicks ain't with it, ignore them. Because I tell you, Latin dudes are real cold on chicks. But for some reason in the black community, it's like, what, bitch? You don't want me? What? I ain't want you anyway. It's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So that not every black dude, but I just saw the rise of dudes cursing out chicks for not giving up numbers, and I'm like, what do I care about that? Chick bleeds every month. I mean, why should I be? But anyway, that's
why would you trust something that bleeds once a month and don't die? You know what I'm saying? But now let me stop. Let me stop.
The dudes that do that, they're more feminine. They have more feminine traits.
Radical.
They're not used to rejection, so they react in a feminine way.
They're very emotional.
Radical.
What's up? What's up?
So to add on to Mr. Research point, I agree with him 100% because it's like I remember rolling past the projects in the Bronx, like over there, South Bronx, Mount Haven, and it was like their whole entire rhetoric is, if I get defeated in battle, I don't want to know that I got defeated. What I want to do is I want to rag on you because you refuse my proposal for me to talk to you. So therefore, I am not going to take the L because I want to embarrass you for not getting the W, if you understand what I mean. And I mean, we seen this persistently, especially this year that happened with the guy in the liquor store.
Oh, in Harlem?
He went overboard with it. But and I say that because there's no training on how to, take your L as a man. Sometimes that I feel, and especially brothers, being a so-called African American myself, it's like I look at it and I'm like, you cannot be serious, man. And like I said before, that training just goes out the window. So they don't have no training. They're just
I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick, and then I'm gonna play this. Me and my boy, we were like 12 or 13, right? We saw these older chicks, like they were like 16, 17, right? We were thinking like we were trying to, actually do some grown man shit and spit at them and all that, right? So, none of us got cooperation. You know what I'm saying? None of us got cooperation. But my boy took that shit to the heart, to the point where he was like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Da 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 da. You got long sideburns anyway. You look like a man. All this other bullshit, right? His father's friend saw that and said, and brought us to the side and said, "That's not what a man does. If you get rejected, learn from the shit and move on. Don't ridicule no woman just because she rejected you. She saw something that you're lacking." And that shit always hit home for me. You know what I'm saying? That shit always hit home for me. And I never, in any situation, I never saw that, shit, it's the other person's fault. No, I always fall back and reassess it. You know what I'm saying? Reassess it and see what the fuck is going on.
Also, it makes the chick feel relevant. Because this is what I learned. This is what I learned from hanging around Arabic dudes. I had a couple of homeboys in Atlanta who was from Egypt and a couple of Morocco, bruh. They don't. If they saw you, I remember the first time a black dude came around us and was tripping off not hollering at them Arab dudes hollered at my homeboy because he was the connect between all of us. He said, we don't want him around anymore. And guess what? He was not allowed to come to the club because the Japanese dude owned the club and the Arab dude hung out there. It's like, it just gives the chick too much relevant to show that you're upset because anyway, go ahead, play the thing, man.
No doubt. And I'm gonna just play. I'm gonna play it.
There's a hierarchy of needs. You are correct. We
don't need you.
College,
and we don't need you. You need us.
Great. I don't need you either.
No, we need you. We don't need you for survival. You need us for survival.
Okay, so
what I'm trying to get you to understand, ma'am, is you have a right to your opinions.
Obviously, I don't have a right to anything.
Well, no, you have a right to believe what you want, but the thing is, you're not allowed to the outcome. You're allowed to have an opinion, just like men are allowed to have an opinion, and you don't have to compete or deal in a situation that you deem is unfair. But you can't complain about the rules that are already set. You like the rules that benefit you, getting into the club for free, but you don't like the rules that benefit men. High value men have the leverage.
You because I'm 31 years old and I'm getting a little fed up of these men kind of attacking me. I do not go to clubs anymore. So please stop with your double standard bullshit. I work in a man's world, and if anything, I've had to work 5 times as hard in this world as a man to get where I am. So
hold on now.
What? This is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of a woman being told what the fuck she got and her not approving of it and saying, first of all, that this is her trying to put Kevin in his place. First of all, like, relax, chill out. He's letting you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? He's letting you know what it is. First of all,
she came at an emotional point. She came from an emotional point.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
she got emotional.
You know what I thought she was about to say? You know what I thought she was about to say? I thought she was about to say, as a woman, and especially as a white woman, I thought she was about to get to that point.
Yeah. See, and here, I just wanted to cover one thing where he was saying earlier about, like, a lot of women, a lot of women have the luxury. They don't understand that when they're sitting and they're being independent and they're in their offices and in these skyscrapers and everything, they don't look at the concept of who actually built those skyscrapers. They don't look at how many men have sacrificed their lives and fell from buildings, or how many men have died trying to build railroads and different things like that.
You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of people don't tend to think that. But shout out to Morena, because she goes, "Oh my God, 31! I thought she was older." Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
The distance.
I thought that too. I thought she was like in her early 40s, late 30s. When she said 31, I said, I'm like, shorty, you had a rough life.
Hey, Radical, I just want to give you one example, bro. I just wanted to say it was actually a friend of mine who actually worked for this moving company here in Chicago. And he was actually moving into this building downtown, and there was this woman who's the head of this office building and everything. And she was talking to them real bad, like if they wasn't moving the furniture where she particularly wanted, she was disrespecting them to the point that their manager got fed up. And you know what he actually did? He told everybody to drop everything that they was moving right where it was at, and they're leaving. And he told me the look on this woman's face was crazy because they just left everything out, and anything that they were supposed to move in, they left it right there on the sidewalk and just left.
Yeah.
Well,
go fuck yourself. Yeah.
well, to all the young people who like politics, please understand. Before Ronald Reagan created the 3 laws for women in 1985, they did not have this finicky type of attitude. Only a few of them had it. Only a few thousand of them had it. But most women were very on point until he created these laws. When he created those 3 laws, they got all the power from what he did. So let's keep it real.
Okay.
To be 100 with y'all might disagree, but I feel like women have more of an advantage now than they did 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I agree.
You know, I do see a lot of things that's happening right now in the media and in society that listen, a woman could just look at you and say rape, and then it's over for your career. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
That's why I stay away from the groups.
Yeah, yeah. So
you know what? And the cover,
listen, you literally need your phone to be recording a witness, 3 cops, a satellite image, just so you could say no, that didn't happen.
And
She
to
was
cover
bugging.
one thing,
You know what I'm saying?
and to cover what you were saying, Radical, to cover what you were saying, it's been situations where I've read about different businesses where when they go on business trips. Now I can't remember the exact name of these places, anything, but it's been situations where men now do not want women on the same floor as them in the hotel at all. They just like if they work together, they want them in the hotel room on the next level or a hotel room below level because they don't want to even put themselves in a position where they can be Me Too. And a lot of women that work at these organizations was complaining about that.
I'm gonna put my own homie's business out there, but fuck it, I'm not gonna say no names. But he's since this whole Me Too thing started, he's been hooking up with women and he's been recording them from the beginning of let's hook up and shit to the end. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I'm recording them. I could care less what happens because at the end of the day, I'm protecting myself.
Yeah, look at Johnny Depp. Look at what happened with Johnny Depp when Johnny Depp got his wife when he recorded her. And she said, "Well, nobody's gonna believe you, Johnny. I'm a woman. No one's gonna believe you."
Yep.
And look what happened. He's lost money. He's lost roles. He's lost everything.
Johnny been saved.
You got to
he got his role back.
You got to look up the Rob Lowe case. The Rob Lowe case is even better than that. And that's why I always encourage young dudes like to really research stuff. Rob Lowe got with 2 chicks who looked like goth chicks and was in the bed tagging them both.
Wait. That looked like what chicks?
Goth, emo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, goth.
Yeah. And so
Twilight bitches. Okay.
Yeah, he was tagging them both. And they had on plaid skirts or what have you. And he was tagging them both. And he was recording it, but he forgot he recorded it because it was like in his wall in a book or something like that. Yeah. So here he is years later. These chicks show up out the blue. He was really the first Me Too case, and the chicks show up out the blue looking like Catholic schoolgirls, like we're innocent and all this. And their families are trying to sue Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe was going through it, and they was really about to convict this dude, and he accidentally found the tape. Like he had totally forgot about it. And it showed them in a totally different look, looking like emo girls, dark eyes and all this stuff. And they was doning him out. His hands were behind his back. And the fact that his hand was behind his back and he wasn't giving no direction, no orders, telling them what to do, it killed their whole narrative of him forcing them and the whole thing. And look up the Rob Lowe case.
All right,
Think
let
of
me
how
just
many
keep on.
people. Yeah, think of how many people that weren't that lucky and had their lives ruined because of something like that, and then it comes out to be false or a false confession
you're
or
right.
False
Yeah, you're
accusation.
right. Yeah, you're right. It happened to one of my friends. You're right. I'm gonna keep on playing this whole time.
Now, since you want to tell me you've had to, you're 31 years old and had to work in a man's world. That's a privilege. You don't. Here's the thing, ma'am. You say the problems with men. The only one that's complaining about the double standard harshly is you.
Yes,
but it benefits you too.
All the benefits.
Okay, well, here's the thing, ma'am. If you don't like, okay, ma'am, you're a competent woman, correct?
Okay, so I should quit my job and never.
No, you should build Amazonia, and make it the female utopia that benefits women.
I probably should after listening.
Well, then go ahead.
I agree with you.
Then you'd have to actually build something. You'd have to put your mouth where you'd have to put your brawn where your mouth is.
I don't understand what you're saying again.
I'm saying that you came at me with the same line. I've had to put up at 31 years old and deal with men's bullshit. You're living in a first world country. You're in Miami, one of the most posh places on the planet, complaining about double standards that you participate in. The nerve.
I corrected you that I don't go to clubs, so you're
okay, ma'am. I just gave an example. You've been to clubs. I didn't say you continue to go. That's not the point now, is it? But see, that's another way of you trying to get me online and then correcting me because I'm a dumb man. I get the point.
No, you're very rude and very aggressive.
No, I'm very direct. And when you were doing this to the men, you had no problem showing your dick. I'm just acknowledging your balls. Because you're a tough woman.
Why? Why should I
Why?
be?
Because I'm just giving what you give. I'm reflecting back what you give to people. But see, the thing is, you're okay giving this to people.
Okay.
I'm just challenging what you think.
These were my opinions when I came in here. I'm the one that presented these opinions.
I just listened to you for 2.
Mind you, let me just say something right quick, and I'm gonna continue playing this. What if you guys watched the whole thing? She was going at these men the same way Kevin Samuels was going at her. You know, we're talking about fairness right now, equal playing field. He's not insulting her, nor is he calling her out her name. All he's doing is he's being very direct, and she sees it as rude. But yet she didn't see that same thing when she was doing it to the men. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to point that out right there.
For 2 nights, say these things, and I'm just talking to you one-on-one, and you're not backing down. I'm just challenging what you say, man.
To a bunch of weak ass men tell me that I'm not attractive and I'm not this and I'm not that because I am not going to back down and listen to somebody.
Okay, are you saying the men in the room with you are a bunch of weak ass men?
If you think that I should have to accept less than
no,
you,
ma'am, I don't think you should have to do anything you don't want to. You're a free person. But I'm trying to understand, who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
The Amazonia, because
who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
This is the Everyday Sling by Peak Design.
Come on.
This is the Everyday Sling by.
Who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
What did I just say? I
didn't hear you because you kind of start talking over me. So could you repeat it? A bunch of weak ass men doing what?
Yes. When somebody sits here and tells me I need to accept an unfair situation, that if we applied it to anything else in life other than men and women, wouldn't be accepted by everybody in this room. But you're going to tell me that, I'm going to tell you that's bullshit. And that's not fair.
Okay. Can I give a response?
There's a million issues in our culture and society today that people are fighting for fairness. But yet I'm sitting here saying, hey, I'm allowed to expect it too. And I'm going to be attacked and told.
Okay. Can I respond now?
Different.
Okay. No, let me tell you something. First of all, men don't worry about fair. The sexual marketplace is not fair. All is fair in love and war. It's not fair. There are guys that out there that you wouldn't give the time of day who could have a heart of gold because they don't hit your mark. Oh, no, ma'am. I'll let you speak.
You don't know that.
No, I know that you don't give every man a chance is what I do know.
You don't. Well, actually, you don't know that at all.
Okay, are you saying that you are the one female on the planet that will give every man who wanted you a shot?
No, I am not.
Okay, then I can assume that was correct. Let's move on. Let's not get lost in. Okay, that's a deflection. Let's not get lost in that. And you're talking about unfairness. Where in the world is it fair like you need it to be?
Is it fair for you here in America?
No, ma'am. I ask you, where in the world is it fair? Like, I'm not complaining about it. I deal with it. I deal with the unfairness and overcome it because I'm a man and I can deal with it. And I'm asking you, where is this place? Where is this ideal place? Where's the ideal model?
It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
There's 3 women here sitting like here, never wanting to go on a date again.
Well, no. How about not wanting to go on a date? What's happened in this world more than anything else is mankind has learned how to get along with each other since recorded history. But around the 60s, when the National Organization for Women, the ERA, Phyllis Schlafly, she was on our side. When all this stuff came in, feminism, second wave, feminism, I'm a feminist. I believe in feminism. Feminism is about choice.
So you really
Excuse
are.
me, ma'am. Feminism in its true form is about choice.
Yeah, we don't have a choice right now with what's
No,
going
you
on.
have a choice. She just exercised one right now. It got too hot. She left.
Yo, Shorty walked away.
Wait,
Shorty
I got
said
to
Because
too
it's
much.
true.
This is
Too
what
much.
this is what men should do when they dealing with cackling women, like our grandfathers used to do. They used to remove themselves, and when the same women who would come back to the grandfather needing help, he'd be like, "Nah, I don't want to even do that because on that day, blah blah blah." So women are going to need you more than you're going to need them. So at some point in time, you got to remove yourself. So at least she removed herself.
Right.
What was it? What do you guys think about that? The whole point of feminism is a choice.
Right.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I agree. I agree.
All right,
Everybody
pointer.
see you have some women that just don't like to deal with the consequences of their choices. Not all women. We're not talking about all women on this panel. We're just talking about a specific group that don't like to deal with the consequences of their choices. For instance, like growing up, I've seen women, right? They'll have babies, they'll decide to have children with men that didn't stick around. And for instance, the perfect, like they will have it their way where they'll be praised either way. If the kid, or they wouldn't have to deal with the responsibility either way. If a kid grows up that they raise as a single parent and that boy becomes an athlete or he becomes successful, then they get to say, I did it all by myself. If he becomes a criminal or he goes to jail, then they can say it's because his father wasn't there. So either way, the blame is not put on that person, on that woman that, had the child,
Yeah.
So here's the thing I've noticed is that whenever you have the intellect to back up your argument, and the person that you're debating with, they don't have that intellect because they're going off of more of emotion or just stuff that they've heard. They don't have the, I guess you could say, the vernacular to back all that stuff up or back up all their claims. They usually walk away because they don't have a solid foundation and they can't deal with being bombarded with the truth.
So let me say this. Let me say this. What it seemed as if in a clip, maybe I might be wrong. The first thing that pops up in my head is if the woman is expressing a type of logical fallacy. Now, if I'm wrong, then I'll take the L on that. But the conversations don't become intellectual anymore because it's usually a personal experience in order to make sure that that's the consensus of all people, or in this case, all men. Now, if someone's calling you ugly, that's on you to make the choice to say whatever. I'm not going to apply that to everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? Her being 31 years old, she aged like old milk. That's not nobody's fault, man. Look, my thing about it is these arguments are just so sometimes disingenuous. They say, oh, well, this is the reason why, but then when they give their examples to back up their claims, it's usually personal. I want statistics. I want statistics and real information. I don't want whatever happened with your friend or what happened with you to be the basis of your argument. I hear this from male feminists too. And it's like, you can't blame everybody for certain situations. That's why I agree with that whole thing. You have to give me statistics and information only. I don't want to hear personals.
Because like if you
100%.
break it down and you peel that onion back to somebody, say if you're dealing with a male feminist, and they don't have any kind of statistics to go with what they're saying, if you peel that onion all the way back, it'll go to, well, my father abandoned my mother, or I had to grow up with this and I had to grow up with that. So it's like, okay, so you're not coming from a statistic standpoint, you're talking from personal experience.
Right.
Well, it's unfair for you to try to put your personal experience on everybody else. Like
100%.
some women will, since you brought up single parents, some women will go after the dude that has his pants hanging down below his ass, doesn't care about her, doesn't really have any 5-year plans. They'll get pregnant. He'll beat her ass. He'll abandon her. And then she'll have that negative outlook on all men from that point on.
Yep.
Yes.
I've seen it happen.
These dudes ain't shit. These dudes ain't shit. They just wanna, you know, get between our legs, get us pregnant, blah blah blah. And
what you were saying, like they'll resolve responsibility on themselves. You'll be like, yo, shorty, you was out here wilding. I saw you. Now you just gonna act like you a victim? Like you was out here going after these guys. These guys, don't get me wrong.
She was fucking the team.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like I understand the way media promotion works because it promotes, especially to Blacks and Hispanics growing up in a city, it promotes that thug culture to us. And I can understand it promotes that to women, and women can get attracted to that. But if you out here and you messing around with these dudes, and you know a lot of these dudes are not in it for the long haul, or you know a lot of these dudes only just want to smash and dash and everything, if you end up getting pregnant and he never showed any type of traits on being a responsible person, anything, or being a responsible father, being on his business, you have nobody but yourself to blame. You can't go put that on the guys that you shunned, on the guys that you, and then some of these women, it's not just rejection. Some of these women they'll put you down to the floor. Like they'll make it seem like you just the lamest, worstest dude ever. And then and then those be the same dudes that once they become successful, those women are complaining about those dudes, or like, a lot of these guys are not checking for me, or like nobody forgot what type of person you used to be, man. Nobody forgot. Like a lot of these guys remember how you dissed them or disrespected them and everything. Nobody, now that they got options, you at the last. You're not one of the first options.
But it gets worse.
I had a friend.
It gets worse.
Go ahead.
Let me say something a little different. All right, so I hear all that, but let's be honest. Some of our male cousins, they sitting up there tricking for these chicks, making them feel that way. Some of our homeboys who's talking about, man, these bitches saying the same thing we saying right now, they the ones making these chicks feel this type of way. There used to be a time back when I was younger, we wouldn't even hang around dudes who were suckers for chicks. This is why E40 made the song Captain Save 'Em. It's because we had dudes, no, really. We had some dudes who would get in these panels and these groups and say everything y'all saying right now, but secretly be going behind the brothers, man, I just said that because I was hanging with them. And this is one of the things that make these chicks fuel the way they are. They go on Instagram because they know some dude, not lesbian, is going to pay them. They go on OnlyFans because they know some dude, which might be your cousin and your homeboy. I know this goes against the group, but y'all need to hear this part of the game. Some of these dudes make these chicks feel like they can do this.
I agree.
No, that's
100%
facts.
with you, brother.
That's
And
facts.
let me say this. Let me say something to that point too, because this is why I believe in that theory of projection. Because I think a lot of dudes talk out of their ass. They want to feel good. They want to be like, oh yeah, fuck these bitches. You know what I'm saying? All these bitches is thoughts. Yeah, I don't OnlyFans. She's a hoe and this, that, and third. Well, my brother, if it was some girl you knew and you was like she was sexy as hell, you gonna pay for that OnlyFans subscription? Are you? Because certain dudes really don't be picking up on their word. And I always express this. At least with me, I'm very honest and very modest about the things that I say. I'll be like, look, listen, I feel some type of way about this, that, and the third. I don't want you to take everything I say at face value because I'm very vulnerable to what is it that could happen, right? I'm just being honest. I don't want to make it seem like I'm contradicting myself, but I do stick to my moral compass. You understand? I stay exactly where it is put.
Yeah, like Like let me let y'all know
Certain
something.
brothers
Like,
don't. Certain people don't.
no,
Men don't.
you're right. I had one of my homeboys. He got with the neighborhood, jump off. You know what I'm saying? She was the type to she smashed the group. You know what I mean? And he decided to wife that up. We were kind of we were clowning him to the point where it when the iPhone 5 came out, right? We saw him like working double shifts almost every other week. He looked stressed the fuck out, and we were like, "Yo, what the hell is going on?" After maybe 2 weeks after, right, we find out that he bought him and his shorty an iPhone 5, the latest ones with the most. You know what I'm saying? At that time, it was like $700. He spent $700 on both of them. You know what I'm saying? And he was the first one out here talking about, I'll be bagging shorties, fuck bitches, and all this other stuff. Mind you,
buying phones.
Exactly, bro. A couple of maybe a year and a half later, he had his first kid with her. Sorry to say, his daughter does not look like him. Another kid. All I'm saying is, how you Dominican, and you with a shorty that's Mexican, right? And mind you, she's bad. She's a 6 or a 7. How you Dominican and you with a shorty that's Mexican? None of y'all got green eyes, and she's the only one that came out with green eyes. That shit don't add up.
Well, it's hard to say because sometimes genes can travel. But
I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say I'll still look into that. I'll still look into that.
Yeah, bro. The daughter looks just like her, but doesn't even look nothing like him. Yo, all I'm saying is she got birthmarks that none of them got. You know what I'm saying? It's a little weird.
$500 gets you a mobile DNA test. You can call them. They'll drive out to your location while you walking your daughter. They'll put a Q-tip in. They'll put a Q-tip in the side.
Yo, not for nothing, bro. I don't think he wants to take it to that route. Maybe he's too scared to find out. He got 3 kids with Shorty. Both of them don't look like him. The last one, the last one, looks just like him. Just like both of them.
What you were saying, Radical. Did you ever see that video of that man? He had this one chick he was dating or whatever. He goes into the kitchen and he has a package. He has a present wrapped up for her.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He turned around and she was like, "I just put the daughter to sleep." And she opened up the package.
I seen that one.
And it was the DNA test showing that he wasn't the father of their child.
Yeah,
and she tried to cry and out there, but that's your daughter. How the hell are you gonna tell me this is my daughter? I just got the DNA test saying it's not my child.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. It's crazy
out here. I feel you. Let me keep on playing this.
See, it's about choice. If a woman wanted to be a housewife, she could do it. If she wanted to be a business person, she could do it. See, the choice was about all black people wanted was choice, freedom, to have an equal shot, not equal outcomes. Men accept these things. You don't hear men complaining about fair. If Donovan and I were playing a game of football or video game, if he was kicking my fucking ass, I would be a punk to sit up and say, "It's not fair. My controller's not working. The game is rigged. That's not fair. You're better." I would have to just take my ass whooping, take my L's and get better. That's what men do.
That you guys choose to be this way, and we don't want to choose to be that way. We want to be different. We don't want somebody that's going to cheat. We don't want anybody we want someone that's going to be faithful. Why do we have to settle for these types of things that you're saying?
Well, first of all, you don't have to settle for anything. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. But what also does not have to happen is men don't have to be counter to their nature to make you happy.
And that's okay. So what's the issue?
The issue is that men are not the ones complaining about the state of relationships and dating as much as women are. Women wanted freedom of choice. Women wanted to be able to have sex with who they wanted to, marry who they want to, love who they want to, work where they want to, not work where they want to, go every place that men could go. You are the most free, most liberated group of women that ever existed on the human history, and yet you're the most unhappy. 1 in 4 out of you on some sort of psych meds. Women are the marital rate is dropping with modern women. What else do you want men to do? We've civilized the world in general. We don't even have wars. You can do whatever you want to. And you're still not happy with the world that men built, telling us that we're not good enough because we don't move like women. We're not going to.
I just feel like you guys don't put in effort. I feel like most of you
Are you
not.
serious?
I do feel like you're serious.
That I don't put in effort?
I mean, the way that you're talking, it doesn't seem like it. Like,
No, but she's right in a sense, because just what you guys are saying, most guys today, those 80% of guys that
you guys
think
are
that
used to it, so you guys just don't even put
there's
the
more
effort.
there's more guys.
Hold on, used to what?
To not put
She brought up
you guys are
personal.
so used to women just falling at your lap.
So I was born this way. Is
It's
that
because
it?
the 23-year-olds matter and not
But
that.
you know what? But the guys, let's not get lost in this, because when they can get into VIP by just being the hottest woman in the club, that's okay.
Why is that your only argument?
Yeah, and
Because it's the one that everybody understands. Because it's the one that everyone understands. And I could use more. Trust me, I'm a smart guy. I can give you more. But the point of the matter is, it's the one we understand, and the double standard benefits you, you're okay with. What effort are women putting in today? Women still want men to move in a traditional way, but yet you're not traditional women.
See how she went to personal?
I'm
She went
confused.
personal.
I'm asking men to act in a traditional way. When
Yes, you want men to be traditional. I mean, most women. Okay, I run a show that has anywhere from 15 to 20,000 people watching every night. And women around the world consistently say they want a man that's earning in the high 5, low 6 figures. They want to have 2 to 3 kids and be married. Most women want the top 10% of men. You can go watch my channel and see this bared out. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and other, across the board. All these women are given an option. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant? The answer comes back overwhelmingly no, meaning they want to be traditional stay-at-home housewives. They weren't raised that way. They weren't cultured that way. They're not even equipped to be that way, but yet and if you ask them, could you date an average guy earning $50,000? Even women coming straight out of college turn their nose up. Men accept this. Excuse me, ma'am. Men accept it. Can I finish my example?
Yeah, you said he's making $80,000 and that wasn't enough.
Okay, so men accept this. Men accept the fact that college men accept the fact that they're in school right now with women their own age, that 80 years ago they could have married and had a family early on. Now they're looking at these same women, and these same women would not even look at these guys unless they're making 6 figures. Men have accepted the unfairness in the marketplace. It's not fair for men. 18 to 30, men used to could get married. Now you can't even really consider getting married till you're 35 plus, because you have to have resources. That's the new marketplace.
What you guys think? What you guys think? I agree with the fact that he says that women want traditional men but don't want to be traditional themselves.
If Ronald Reagan hadn't created the 1985 laws that gives women the power over courts, marriage, and taxes, none of this would be a conversation. Men, young men,
I told you,
who don't like what's going on, simply need to harass your congressman to get rid of the 1985 laws, and it will go back to the way it was, where women have to be more accountable for every move they do. Your white men of this country created laws in 1985 to give women power over taxes as if they are a married couple, no fault divorce, and redesigned the welfare system the way it is that affects the court system. Jimmy Carter had it, you can't get welfare unless you're 2-parent. They changed that. The Republican family people changed that back to a 1-parent. So blame the 1985 laws. Go ahead, gentlemen.
No, I was saying how, remember when I was talking about when you peel that onion back, it goes to them speaking from personal experience. That's exactly what just happened when he hit her with that fact. When it went to the full screen and you saw the other dudes, she spoke from personal experience when she was talking about those other guys. So it's like, okay, so now she's using a personal experience to generalize everyone.
Perfect example about what he was saying about women want traditional men, and not being non-traditional. How many times have we heard when it comes to what Mr. Research was saying with in the courts with child support? I remember growing up when you would hear about women taking half of a man's fortune, with child support or with what's what I'm looking for with alimony, that you were women be like, yeah, that's right, girl, get half of his stuff, get 50, yeah, take half of that, even though they didn't help establish that. Now that you have a situation where women are being a little bit more successful, or if they get with a man that's not as successful as them and they marry, and that man is taking half of them, now the same things that they put men down for with prenuptial agreements. Now women are saying, oh, well, they should get prenups. Make him sign a prenup if you're going to marry him, everything like that. But when it was the other way around, a lot of these women was getting upset with men if they said, I want you to sign a prenup. Perfect example, look at Halle Berry. Halle Berry is now being taken for child support with the guy that she had kids by. And now she's pissed off and she's upset about that. Men have been going through that for decades.
No, that's facts.
Facts. Yeah, facts. If anybody doesn't want to chime in, I'm gonna keep on playing. Good. All right.
Thing is, but let me finish. Let me say this, and I'll turn it over. Men have accepted that and adjusted. The difference is the women are not bringing in. Women in mass are bringing this. Ask them what you want, you get War and Peace. Ask you what you bring to the table, you can't write it on the back of a stamp. You get access to my body, which is not virgin, which is not even low miles, which you've given to somebody before. And in some cases, you've even shared your womb. You're not even really feminine like women used to be. You don't even have the domestic skills, the home skills. So I would submit today that modern women are asking for an unfair deal from modern men.
So we should go back to 1950 and make it more fair?
Well, I tell you what's happening is the men have accepted this and they're deciding I'm either not going to play this game because I cannot earn what these guys around you are earning, and they're just opting to walk away. And the men who are earning that have an overwhelming amount of options. They have a plethora of options. Men in the top 10%, top 5%. I'm 51 years old and I can pick whatever I want because women all want the same kind of man. And if you have options,
I am gonna agree with them. I'm gonna agree with them on this one. The older men get and the more value a man has, the more desirable and more things he brings to the table. And it's the opposite for a woman. That's the reason why most older men go for younger women. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The women, to be honest with you, I agree with him on that part. Women are not bringing nothing to the table.
Nope.
That is beneficial to us. That's already, I'm sorry to say, used and abused. Last time I checked, a car has a blue Kelly value. You know what I'm saying? A Kelly Blue Book value. If I'm going to buy a 2010 Toyota Camry and the Toyota Camry is telling me I got to bring more to the table than that shit is worth, I'm not buying the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a reason why certain things have value and appreciates and depreciates. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. And if you're if you're a woman, to me, in my opinion is you got to bring more to the table than just your body and your looks. You know what I'm saying? What you guys think?
Yeah. So I want to tell a story real quick about the whole six-figure things. Contrary to what a lot of people think, making six figures is rare. It's not a lot of people that make six figures. There's a lot of people that look like they make six figures, but that's because you have a lot of people living outside their means. I remember I was at a nightclub with one of my friends. He was a bouncer, and it was these college students, and they all had on like Louis Vuitton belts, Louis Vuitton shoes, suited, what do they say, dressed to the tens. They could. It was 7 of them, and they couldn't pay their alcohol tab, so they had to take them off to the side. And they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to call their parents, and their parents had to come out and pay that tab for them. So they had to and the tab was like 400 something bucks. And they couldn't afford it. But when you looked at them, you would think that they had a lot of money. You would think that one of them drove a Bentley just off of how well dressed they were. And that whole image thing where people look like they have money, they dress like they have money. The people that the people that actually have the money don't really dress like they have money.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think it also has a lot to do with their living conditions. If a certain individual is still living at home with their parents or living at home with their baby moms, they have a safety net that a lot of people don't have. When you live at home with your own damn self, you put your big boy pants on and say, "Yo, let's get to work." You know what I'm saying? I don't got time to lollygag. I don't got time to fuck around. I don't got time to do this. I don't got time to do that. I'm here for business. Other people who still live at home with their mom, with their baby moms, or whatever the case is, and they got a safety net, for some reason, they seem to, be more leisurely. They seem to be more reckless. They seem to do, you know what I'm saying? They seem to do a little bit too much than the average person that is actually doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging.
No, you speaking true.
Not bugging.
Yeah, you speaking true. I expect a woman to cook.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's okay. I expect a woman to cook, and I'll cook in the same time. But like I said before, it's all about equality, but not one or the other. If you have one or the other, it's not gonna work.
Right. I'll just say this one thing. I slightly disagree with what he was saying about don't get me wrong, older men do have options and everything like that. I say it's a double-edged sword. When you're an older man, you know that a woman is there with you for your resources, so you can't really expect too much, to be loyal. But then again, like women are choosing men over resources no matter what age you are at. But at the same time, what he was saying, what the last person was saying and everything about men making six figures, that's actually correct. It's only a small population of men that are making six figures. But like the way social media is working these days, especially with a lot of these level up channels and different things like that, you would think that you have a lot of women that are manipulating other women into thinking that they are actually going to go out there and get men. There's like men that's making six figures are just falling out the sky, and they don't have to do any work, or they don't have to compete with other women or different things like that in order to go out there and get a man that's actually making six figures. So you have a lot of women complaining these days today too, because they don't want to compete with other women. They don't want to compete with other women.
And let's keep it real. Most of these people up on YouTube talking about they make six figures, that's bullshit. They don't make six figures.
Let me be clear. I've been around here since 2007. Number one, as an older established man, we don't care if these chicks are loyal. I wish young people would stop saying that. We don't care if these chicks are loyal. These chicks are not relevant to us the way they are to younger dudes. We don't care about loyalty. Well, this is why we trade chicks in at a high rate as an older established dude. This is why old ass wives are willing to go get fake titties, because they know we'll trade them in. Young dudes are the only ones looking for loyalty. I'm not knocking nobody, but when people speak about older dudes, especially those of us who are established, then we don't care about that shit. The other thing is, what Radical said is true. I've been around these streets for a while. This is why I always ask dudes, what industry are they in? There are a lot of YouTube drivers. There's a lot of freaking tattoo artists. There's a lot of people that are renting barbershop chairs with the biggest following. One example is Shoemake. Mr. Shoemake, he drives Uber. I mean, come on. I'm not knocking nothing, but he got a following because he says what people want to hear, and when he don't say what people want to hear,
right. Hey, Mr. Research, not to cut you off, but I always wonder why that brother was always making videos in his car, man. You just answered that.
and look, back in the day before Uber was created, he'd be in a taxi right now. He'd be the taxi driver on the internet. So a lot of times, Radical is right. We all that I know of, and I've been around since 2007. I think I know of maybe 6 guys who have high level jobs. I make $90K off my career.
Wait, what was the guy's name? Shoemake?
Shoemake.
Yeah, his name is Shoemake Way.
That's his
Yeah.
name on
Oh,
YouTube.
shoe make
We
way.
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, he makes
we
videos pandering to women on YouTube.
we don't know what Angry Man does for a living. O'Shea still hasn't started his job yet. He's still
Can you throw
living.
Derek Jackson in there?
Derek Jackson, that's even worse. Derek Jackson is like, you know. Matter of fact, Cynthia G, Chrissy just admitted she's still living in an apartment. So a lot of these people ain't on point.
But
Yeah,
hold on, but
it's that
some of
image.
these
It's that
YouTubers
image.
make more.
I will say
They
one
do
thing
make
with
six
Chrissy.
figures.
Chrissy said she lives in
No,
a
no, 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 no,
two-bedroom
no, no.
apartment.
No. Let's be clear because let's talk money real quick. Six figures is only determined over half a decade or a decade. Just because you make 100,000 1 or 2 years doesn't mean you can make it 3-4 years. That's inconsistent. That's just like a person working a tech job. Yeah, he might have got 125, but he worked 4 jobs in 3 years. And then he gets 32, and then he wonders, wait a minute, I got the skill, but I'm not getting hired. That's because tech is all about hiring young people for low wage. Once you get older, it doesn't matter whether you still know that software. HR determines whether they want to take you onto their insurance versus getting an 18-year-old who can do half of what you do and he can learn it as he goes. That's
Yeah.
part of the game.
Mr.
Not a
Mr.
regular
Research,
job.
Mr.
Because if
Research.
you Google it, some of these guys are millionaires. Some
What was it?
unbelievably, some YouTubers are millionaires. They go for YouTube.
Let me be clear. Some of these guys are millionaires because they sold something to somebody. They sold
No,
something
it's just
to
their views.
somebody.
It's just their
Okay.
views, bro. It's their subscribers and their views. They get a check. That's
Okay,
been
no
confirmed
problem.
a couple of times.
Okay, so just so we can move on, how many millionaires do you believe is on YouTube?
Oh, you can Google it. I mean, I didn't
I'll
even believe it was a
probably
thing.
say
There's a
I will
girl that named
I will
Superwoman.
probably
She made
say
like over 3 mil.
yeah. I will
Okay,
probably say 5 or 6.
Okay, 5 or
But
6.
No, there's more than that. There's
look at
more
how
than
many
that.
YouTubers
It's like
are on
20.
there. Look
Sir,
at how
It's
many
like
people
20.
use YouTube.
Give us a number because you
Look
cheerlead.
at how many people use YouTube.
Yeah, I would say
There's
the
about 20
millionaires.
or more.
Millionaires, I'll say 5. I'll say 5 or 6. Real millionaires, I'll say 5 or 6.
Let's say
No.
30. Let's say 30. Is that fair
Okay.
for everybody?
Yeah, let's say
All right.
30.
Okay.
30 compared to like 40 million YouTubers, though.
That's what I was about to say. 30 is like one 1/13th of the
Not
entire.
even. That's not even 1%. 30 out of 40 million. That's not 1%, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
literally
I get
less. That's less than 1%. That's 0.01%.
So here's the only thing I want to say to the brother that's saying there's a lot of millionaires. Sir, respectfully, my theory is it's not an opinion, it's just a theory. Mathematically, it ain't a lot of people in millionaire status on YouTube, especially since you and I both know that Sarah, who runs YouTube in San Mateo, cut the revenue from what it used to be back in 2011 and 2013. She's cut it twice now. So everybody ain't making what they making. So let's just give it 30 people. Let's give it 40 people. That's only 40 people who are millionaires. Everybody else ain't really on that. So that's the only point I'm trying to make to you, sir.
Yeah, I get that.
Even you can put the same thing. You can put the same thing to Instagram. You can put the same thing to I guess OnlyFans if you want to include OnlyFans. They put the focus on the people that make the money, but look at how many people are on those apps.
And look, I just want to say the reason I'm pushing it so hard, gentlemen, is because I think it's misleading for us to say, hey, they got 50 millionaires, but everybody ain't. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mr. Research, before I go play the video again, there was a couple of comments that were referring to you saying that they do want someone that's loyal. Loyalty is something that is required. Loyalty is something that matters. You know, blah, 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 blah. This is the first time I ever heard that. Nobody wants loyalty. So what do you got to say about that?
Okay, I would ask, what is that? And this is relevant because we was talking about high value dudes or older dudes. I would ask, how old is that gentleman and what industry is he in? Because we don't care. We don't care about 10 G's. Dudes will sit up here and pay 10 G's to have their old wife get titties. Everybody knows this. The choice, old wife. You put these 40-pound CCs in your chest, or I'm gonna give you 1/3 of the empire and get out of here so this new chick can come in. We don't care like that. So I don't know why a person would say that unless it's a woman trying to oppose to be a man. But this will always ask people, what do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? Because you got too many people making these statements and they ain't really living like that. I work in medical finance. My money comes all the time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, for a person to say that, man, just please, if you're a young person, don't listen to people who hasn't established who they really are and gave you a track record of how they really living. Sorry for taking up.
Hold on,
Yeah,
just to clarify, you mean to say that the man is going to spend money to get the new chick in? That's what you mean?
No. What I said, yeah.
That's what you mean by loyalty. Like, you're not loyal to her. You could just replace her.
No, what I'm saying is we don't care about her loyalty. We just don't. A woman, when you start paying these $100 tickets for events and $200 tickets for events, it's all about connections. That's what value really is. It's not about money. It's about connections. You're trying to connect. Like right now, I'm trying to connect with the city hall so I can get into some commercial real estate. I'm trying to connect. I can care less. So
because when you say loyalty, a lot of people may be thinking like, so you want her to cheat on you? That's okay. Like, you would just cut her off then.
Look, let me be clear on something real quick. And this is gonna sound really strange for younger dudes. Do you realize these dudes in these high profession, they wives know they cheat, and some of them know that their wives is cheating? Where do you think cuckolding and all this stuff comes from?
Bro,
These dudes,
no. And look, a lot of those dudes that make six figures, they be going to swinger parties all the time.
Look, I used to go to orgies. They don't care. So, gentlemen, look, I know I sound arrogant right now. I'm sorry, but it's a different level when you start making this cheese. You don't care like that. And so these women, the only reason you get with a woman is because of her family connections or her industry connections, or what she does for you at the house. When that stops becoming relevant, hey, sweetheart, how much is it going to cost for us to end this shit? We had a good run. Give me half the shit. Go ahead. I'm about to do a deal with Radical in 2022. So go ahead and take half this shit now. And by the time
because whatever she got going on could fuck up our deal.
Right. That's what I'm like. Yeah, we'll go ahead and cash this shit out now. I don't give a fuck. But to y'all looking at like, oh, she taking half this shit. Now I got a deal with Radical. I got another deal with Umbabe. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I'm gonna play this right here. All right.
Just like you're not going to do what? Settle. Men didn't make the marketplace this way, ladies. You fought for it to be this way. This is freedom. Freedom comes with responsibility.
Clearly not for men.
No. See, when men were paying the bills, when we had the old system, men were expected to fight the wars, dig the ditches, build the buildings, pay all the bills. And when a divorce or something happened, men had to pay. Now women fought for equality, so you get upset when you deal with 50-50 mindset men.
No, I mean, I'd rather be an independent rich woman and be single than to be stuck with a man who doesn't give a shit about me.
And I would rather pay more than half of the bills.
Absolutely, exactly.
Okay, first off, you said you'd rather be in it, and if that's what you choose to be, great, you can do that. That's choice. And you can do that.
Exactly.
But the thing is, but the funny thing is, you would think that, and especially in my community, strong, independent, such and so forth, the amount of women who are high earners, independent, and miserable is amazing. Halle Berry, once the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet, 3 times in a row, is complaining about child support. She's rich, she's beautiful, she's miserable. How about this? There used to be a time where men and women actually did not war with one another. We didn't have these contentious things. We accepted that men were men, women were women. We acknowledged each other's differences. We respected those things and let the world work. In the last 70 years, we've decided let's rejigger everything, and it's not working.
And you could rape your wife and she didn't have any rights, and you could beat her.
Now, what's going on, guys, is this is the sign language that goes on again. This is when they go to the horror stories. In the Black community, we call this the color purpling of Black America. Miss Seeley, these things could happen, sure, but they did not happen in mass. You did not go to suburbia and see women's eyes hanging out of their socket.
I highly disagree with you.
Okay.
I mean, raping your wife was such a huge deal. It didn't even get.
I said eyes hanging out of your socket. You talking about? I'm not going to use that word because I'm on somebody's platform.
Right.
Can we not use that word though?
Because
can we not use that? Can we not use that word? It's YouTube sensitive.
I'm sorry. What word?
The R word.
Or spelled backwards.
It dings the platform.
Okay.
I'm not rejecting the concept.
But
And yes, ma'am, it happened.
Right.
But ma'am, but what you're trying to
I think that world was better for me.
Okay, well then if the world is better for you, then accept the things that come along with a better world.
I just think that everything you guys are presenting are opinions and they're not facts.
Well, actually, there are more facts than you want to deal with because all I deal with based on facts.
There are things that you guys want to say are facts.
Okay, ma'am.
Statistics that show me this.
Here we go.
Where
Okay, ma'am. My show, all I deal with facts and statistics.
women that are happy in their environment, knowing they're being cheated on, knowing these things are happening to them, and you find them for me.
How many women we have?
Excuse me, hold on. Let me ask the question again. Ask the question again.
You go find these women that are being happy, being cheated on. They're happy, and
Excuse me. Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me. I can go. I'll let you know. I can go out to where I used to live in Dallas in Highland Park. I knew at least 6 of them. 6 of them because they were. Excuse me, ma'am.
that have been.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. If you let me explain to you, I will.
You're not letting me finish my thought, and then
you asked a question. You asked a question. Go find these women, and I'm going to tell you where I found them.
My thought wasn't over. I said in successful marriages.
Okay, in successful marriages.
10 years later,
and they're still married. Still married. Still married. There was a soccer. The soccer mom. Okay. Okay. Do you want to hear or not?
Well, I mean, I just don't. I would.
You see, I could give you the example, and you still won't accept it because there are some women who accept the fact that, you know what, if I want to have a man that's making $500,000 a year, that kind of living, he's not going to be able to go to the PTA meetings. He's going to have to work his butt off and maybe travel a lot. And guess what? They have an arrangement. But guess what? As long as you don't bring in home any outside babies, no diseases, and don't embarrass me in public, we're good. Guess what? She can also do what she wants to do as well. And they have an understanding because when the marital rate in this country, the divorce rate in this country is over 51%. But when you cross a net income of $250,000, it drops to 20% because people with more money got more reasons to stay together. And they find a way to do it all the time.
God damn it. Hold on. With these women looking like olive oil and shit. All right.
Well, it's funny. He just brought up something that the research guy just said. Because
I respect.
Hold on.
And they find a way to 20% because people with more money got more reasons to stay together, and they find a way to do it all the time.
I respect your opinion because at least it's fair. At least people get to have a part of a deal instead of just men get to cheat and women are going to sit at home and deal with it.
What I just gave you was a fact that anybody can look at.
Well, but again, I'm more okay with what you're saying. You're telling me it's going both ways, not just one.
Well, I'm telling you, it always has gone both ways. But the way you guys are set up is it's always women are the victims. And that's that feminism crap. I don't think women are victims. I think women can pick and choose. I think there are plenty of women like Melania Trump that choose to be married to a guy like Donald Trump and knew exactly what she was getting, was perfectly fine with being where she is. That's a choice.
I don't think I've ever sat here and claimed to be a victim.
Yeah, she is the worst. I mean, she's probably the best example because I'm not a Trump fan, but like she's the worst example to bring into that because it's like she's not.
She had the freedom to choose, and she chose.
She did.
So are you going to negate her choice?
Absolutely. She wasn't an American. She made her choices based on.
Oh, listen to that, gentlemen. Fairness. See, this is what it is. This is selective feminism. It's feminism.
Look how Shorty just gave up. She was like, yes, it is a choice. So, check this out. Yeah, she was like, I guess.
Absolutely. She wasn't an American. She made her choices based on.
Oh, listen to that, gentlemen. Fairness. See, this is what it is. This is selective feminism. It's feminism only when it goes with what I think. Thank you for proving my point.
I would like to make a point, actually. So if we brought up that plenty of Colombian women run game on white guys in Miami for citizenship, we would act like they're victims.
No, I wouldn't.
Guys.
I wouldn't.
Melania Trump does the same thing.
No, I wouldn't.
Citizenship. She gets some cash. She gets She gets what you are perceiving as
She got a deal. So let me explain. Let me say something, guys. Let me explain something to you ladies. What men and women have always done is not worried about the Western notion ideal of marriage. What men and women have traditionally done is sat down and negotiated and hammered out a deal. And that's what they do. You hammer out a deal. Melania Trump got a deal. She is not a prisoner. She could have.
Let me just say real quick about that whole Colombian thing about Colombian women in Miami. I don't think that's relative to the conversation that they're having. Nobody's gonna look at that dude as a victim. You know what I mean? Probably as a dummy, but not as a victim. At the end of the day, men know what the fuck they're getting themselves into.
They'll look at him as a trick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Call him a trick.
Have chosen to leave. This is a free country. If Donald Trump wanted her to stay and she wanted to leave, she could have. She chose to be there.
Yeah, but we're not all like Melania Trump.
And that is not a valid argument.
No,
but it is though.
It is not, because we're not. That's not a valid argument. I'm saying the fact that there are women who make choices that you don't understand, but they're free to make them and happy in those situations.
But again, you're talking about choices that are going both ways, when what I have been getting annoyed with is there is no sense of fairness, and that's what exactly.
There is no fairness in dating, ma'am. That's what you don't seem to get. There's no fairness in this. All's fair in love and war. It's not fair. It's survival.
I'm glad I know now. I just got a lot of empowerment.
Now that I heard everybody's opinion here, it's like I don't even want to date. Like
I do.
I'm gonna be even more exactly.
But understand something, and you can do that. But here's the thing. And that's fine. But here's the thing. And the thing. And while you're running games, the game will be played as well. That's fine. And men are okay with that. See, men are okay with the women.
Okay with that though.
Ma'am, you ladies set up the rules. We are playing the game that modern women have set up.
So Kevin, and I don't know if you heard it, but again, one of the things that's bothered me is that again, it's men can do this, but women can't.
Such as?
Again, the cheating thing. Well, if you're the 1% of men, then you get to do this, and it's because women show, love differently and blah blah blah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if you are with a 1% man and you're cheating, you better not get. If you need to know your man.
Neither are we.
Some men. I will say this: I know men in the 1% whose wives have. What do you think the porn where she's sleeping with the pool boy, the postman, came from? Women cheated. The Postman Rings Twice was a very famous movie in the 70s. Ladies, there are some men who understand their wives cheat. There are just rules to it.
But again, I like that you're telling me we're setting a plan up front, because that's not what's been being said here.
That's always what it comes down to.
He loves you. He ain't gonna let you know he's cheating.
There is something that comes down when there is some man on the planet that you can actually make a deal with that you could accept. Now the point is, can you find him before time runs out? But that's how it always comes down to. There are blanket generalizations that are broadly true for most people. But we're human beings. Everyone has a choice. Some guys cannot tolerate any cheating. Well, then if you need to get your itch scratched and you know what you got on the line, you got to weigh the risk reward. Because if you want to risk it,
aim lower, I guess, lower your expectations, because if you're dating, above the 1%, then you might get somebody that's not going to fucking cheat, right?
Maybe.
Well, hold on. And see, the notion of this whole aim lower, this is why when women say this, I don't think you realize that people... When I don't think a lot of times you ladies understand when you say aim lower, you're in that lower too.
Where's the crickets?
I don't aim lower. I'm not going to aim lower. I'm just going to stop being such a nice person.
But the fact that here's some realities. Women control access to sex and determine whether or not a life is brought into the world. Men control access to relationships and marriage. So you can aim whatever you want to.
Wait a minute. Woo.
That's deep.
Yeah, that's facts. That usually applies to women when they.
Wait. I gotta replay that back. I gotta replay that back. Hold on, for the people in the back. Hold on.
But aren't the relationships and that's
he's getting into the wall.
But the fact that here's some realities. Women control access to sex and determine whether or not a life is brought into the world. Men control access to relationships and marriage.
When women hit the wall, they want to get married. They usually stop playing the field, and they want security of a marriage, right? You would have to agree with that, guys.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the security. Damn, that was deep. And I have to agree with them. Yeah, men control the relationship and access to marriage. They control the sex and bringing a life into. Oh, woo! See,
This is why he goes after younger women, right? Because the older women they hit the wall, and he doesn't want them. That's where his
Well,
opportunity.
I don't think that's necessarily 100% why. I think there's a biological
that's
aspect to it.
biological.
Yeah,
Yeah.
biological.
I'll say it's biological because
Older
yeah.
tigers-
They've been proven. It's been proven that younger women subconsciously in a man's mind they seem more what's that word fertile. Yeah, fertile for a man, and that's the reason why most older men who are seasoned, who are in a better position in their life, they tend to go for younger women 5, 10, even 15 years younger.
And they gotta have money though. That's that. You're not.
No. The woman doesn't have to have money, but the guy
does.
Oh,
Why
no,
does a guy have to
yeah.
have money? Why? Why do I have to have money?
Right. So that's why the women are going after him.
But explain to me why I have to have money.
Because money equates to power, and money equates to
Because
resources.
money is basically right.
Because you guys believe through. Look, let me not be disrespectful. I think you guys have been shown to think that that younger women don't want older guys for no other reason other than money. I've had people on my show who are younger girls who just like older guys because we're less bullshit. We're older guys.
Broke ones?
Yeah, I gotta disagree with that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the broke dudes. Okay, broke dudes. I will agree. Broke older dudes who can't take care of themselves, who are barely living. Nobody wants them. I give you that. Okay, but a basic dude, like sometimes y'all. So sometimes I be hearing dudes like we got to be making the money that I make in order for chicks to pay attention to us. Look, half the time chicks don't even know I make money. So it's like I never do understand where that comes from. So I'm trying to get
The quality of women at that point, because Kevin is saying the whole time that if the guy is making 40,000, chicks ain't looking for him, and the older chicks might deal with you because they can't find anybody else. When they hit the wall, then they're gonna drop their standards, and then they're gonna go with the average guy because they cannot get high value.
Or are they looking for materialistic things and not?
No. It goes back to what Mr. Research was saying earlier when he said back when he was growing up, no difference when I was growing up in high school. Why did you have young girls that dated older men? They dated older men because they had resources, whether it was the nice car, whether it was the BMW, whether it was the fact that they had money. They wasn't dating boys that was getting on the bus right along with them.
Oh, not at all.
They dating people who had the resources.
It's not the guy. Yeah, it's the resources. It's not because the guy looks so fine.
Yo, guys, let's get this likes. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Please like the video, subscribe, share, like it. Go ahead, bro.
It's not the money either. It's not the money either. I think
money.
It's the money. It's the money.
It's the money, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that. That's to me. It's materialistic. It's not about. It's for. And I'm not saying for like stereotypical for women because there's many women with many different personalities and background. Not every woman's the same, but it's like for some of it, just for example, like this.
What you were saying, women are genetically designed to go after men with resources. That's period. And money is what gives you resources. Money is what gives you connections. You cannot go into certain circles as a broke guy to work at a gas station and say, I'm gonna mingle with millionaires and get connections without any type of money.
Unless you got the mouthpiece to get yourself into it. And if you do have the mouthpiece to get yourself into it, that means you either you're one of these con artists or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? You're putting yourself in that type of
eventually in that circle you're gonna have to show and prove, because if guys like, all right, you trying to get up with us,
they're gonna pull your card. They're gonna pull your card eventually.
30,000 down for an investment. We need your 30,000 down.
That's just you gotta look at it from the female side a little bit. Is that you're gonna get with a dude that can't provide no safety, can't provide no future. They got this law in Egypt. You can have as many wives as you want to, but any one of those wives go and complain to the government you're not taking care of them, they're gonna lock your ass up as a dude.
Right. That's what it goes back to saying, that you have to have resources as a man. You have to have resources. But I just wanted to say one thing. I'm about to be out, Radical. I just want to say one thing about what Kevin Samuels was saying, is that the fact that it's a lot of women that are complaining about marriage. Men are not complaining, because a lot of men are decided, even when a lot of divorces are filed, those are women that are filing these divorces. These are not men. It goes to show you that a lot of women.
Which is something I kept on saying. Men don't really care about marriage. It's a woman thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And like it goes back to their biological clock. See, women haven't decided yet. Like I was saying earlier in the show, a lot of women, the hunger for more power is going against their nature as women, and that's where they're becoming conflicted with, because of the fact that they haven't made a decision on did they want the power or do they want the men. It's like they want to, they want to sit there and they want to disrespect and shun men in their earlier years when they think they have all the options in the world. Then when their biological clock starts ticking, now they want to look around and they want to say, where are the good men? And those good men, you shunned them a long time ago. They're gone.
Wait. To his point, because even the lesbians aren't happy. The whole Cheryl Swoops is leaving they girls. Even the lesbian aren't happy. To his point, he just made.
Yeah.
So that's what it's coming down to. It's like they want to be able to pick men off the shelf, like women pick, like men pick women, and they're not getting that, and they've hit that glass ceiling to the point that they're confused. They, they're not getting really what they want. They think they know what they want, but they really don't know what they want. And it's unfortunately for men, everything circles back to where we're to blame. And even though they have all the choices, they don't want to take the accountability or responsibility for their choices, and we are still to blame for everything.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, if you're making 6+ figures, say you're an athlete, and you're making $1 million a year, your last thought is going to be having a stable relationship with a woman, because you have so many women to choose from.
Not just that, but not just that.
so,
What he was saying. Not just that, but your last thought is even going to be marriage, because you've seen what has happened to all of the millionaire men that has been in marriages before you. Where a lot of these men have damn near lost a lot.
Have you seen that video about that? I think was it basketball player that he wanted to get married to his shorty, but she didn't want to sign the prenup. Did y'all see that video?
Yeah, with Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, yo. Son, she goes, at the day of the wedding, she's crying. She's like, okay, I signed it. Give me the paper. He's like, oh, hell no. I'm not giving you the shit now, because if you sign and we get married, you'll say you did it under duress.
Right.
And right before he said that, and when he was saying the story, saying, okay, I'll sign it right now while she's crying, in my mind, I said, nah, I learned this shit. I learned this trick. Nah, that's under duress. And then he said, I said, oh, okay. Shout out to him that he knew that. Shout out to him that he knew that.
Because what it comes down to, women wants to put themselves in position for a man's resources.
But see, this goes back to my point. Was that chick going to provide him a family connection? No. Did that chick?
Wait. What chick? What chick?
Stefan's
oh,
chick.
Okay.
Was she going to provide him some family connections to some empire? No. Was she going to? Is she the master of a certain industry he's trying to get into? No. So there was no real reason to connect with this.
So, Mr. Research, let me ask you something, because this might be getting lost in the sauce with some of the people that might be listening. Let me ask you something. In that type of situation, I think, do you agree that it's better off with that basketball player getting with somebody that's either in equal footing or greater in financial status than he is? Do you think it would be a better communion?
Marriage is a business. Love comes 15th. Marriage is a business.
I agree. And the funny thing, what Mr. Research was saying, marriage has always been a business.
Always,
it's never been about love. If you look at the history of marriage in a lot of these European countries with monarchs and everything, it was because of what Mr. Research was saying. the King Louis of France would
What could
marry
you provide
Isabella
me?
of
Yeah.
Spain so they can have a
Land and
union.
property.
Yeah.
Right. So they can have a union, So
Yeah,
Even Boaz
the
in
only
the
time you'll ever find a marriage that wasn't business is if you go to like backwoods Mississippi or some shit like that.
no,
But in the
you'll
real world,
find
no.
marriages is not about business and regular common working people because a lot of us
Yeah.
don't have the resources that a
True.
rich person would have.
True.
That's why marriage with us has been about love. That's what we was raised
But
on.
that's what we.
for
But that's
marriage
what
with
we
people that
fail.
are
But do you think that that's where we fail at?
That's where our fathers failed because of the 1985 law. When Reagan created the law that says you have the right to divorce for any reason. Okay, you got to remember before that, the purpose for getting married was for the tax head of household love.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You didn't even have to live together. Some husband and wives didn't see each other for months because white dudes, and everybody was traveling to get their money. So
Yeah.
the only thing you benefited from was the head of household. Anti-family Reagan put an end to that. He's the one that came and said, I'm going to give the woman the reason to not have no reason in reconcilable differences to get a divorce. Before that,
that's what I
not
was
many,
just gonna say. Yep, we missed
not
the
many
reason.
people got married. Not many people got married because it was too hard to get out of it. So when you did get married, you and your family benefited better than the single people over here because
Wait
you
a
got
minute. Is that the reason why the concept or the phrase is better to keep her than to leave her?
keep her because you got this tax revenue for head of household. But Reagan changed that. Not only did he create, and this is why I said for all you men who are mad, go change the Ronald Reagan law.
Shout out to Melanated Knight. Thank you for coming in. Go ahead, bro.
And so here's the other thing. He also gave women in that same 1985 year the right to file as if she was a married woman.
Really?
She gets head of household.
Oh shit.
Right. Ronald Reagan did that. If you don't like it, change the Ronald Reagan law. Because you're really not mad at these women. You mad at these white men who created these laws that women have weaponized. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. We got Marcel here in the room. Marcel, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Nothing much. Listen, I always appreciate it when you come in. You got anything to say about the topic at hand, the video, or anything?
Yeah, girls like that I've seen all my life in Miami. I've seen what I'm seeing now is a more extreme form of it. But these are girls, they can say whatever they want. What they're looking for is a so-called high-value man that's going to treat them like some sort of a decoration or a collection that they take out every now and again to show off. They talk about that they don't care if that they don't want their men to cheat on them. But I tell you what, money trumps all that bullshit. Because if they're getting money and convenience out of it, the man could go ahead and cheat on them up and down, sideways, all day, every day. They're gonna turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
I've seen this shit. These are the type of girls, bro, that they'll never set foot outside of Brickell. They'll never set foot outside of Miami. You're never gonna see them in the hood. You're never gonna see them in Hialeah. You're never gonna see them in the Northwest. You're never gonna see them in North Miami Beach. These are girls that live inside of a bubble. Yes, now back in the day, they would drive cars like Volkswagen Jettas and shit like that. I don't know what they're driving today, but I've seen girls like this a lot back in my day. You understand? And these girls, they could talk all that shit and all that, but it's when they're talking about getting that high value man, that high value man could run game on them all day, could talk all this shit. They could treat them like they're like dog shit. They will sit there and they will take it. They'll take all that feminism, they'll wrap it up in a nice little ball, and they'll swallow it. And they'll feel that shit go right over the lump of their throat.
Yep.
So everything that they're saying is bullshit.
Yeah. Do you think that they believe? I don't think they 100% believe this, but do you think they're saying this because of the current state of the world nowadays?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called America Problems.
Yeah, it's again, it was said before, this is a first world thing.
Oh yeah, Kevin Samuel says,
Yeah, it
you
was
only
said
see
before.
modern day feminism in the first world. Yeah,
and when you're in Miami now, think about it. I'm coming from a mentality from like 20 years ago. You go to Miami now, downtown, Miami is like it's completely changed. So the whole if it was materialistic then, think of how the materialism that's in Miami now. You understand what I'm saying? So when I hear these are the girls that you're gonna see them at Bayside buying $500 purses and spend that money like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that's what when I'm listening to this, it's like the bullshit meter keeps going off because I know what they're saying is not true. But then you got to look now. I appreciate what research was saying. I don't agree with it because I agree if you take research's approach where loyalty don't mean shit to you and that you're just thinking about the money. Now you're becoming, instead of you owning the money, you're letting the money own you, and now you're becoming more of a sociopath than anything else. If you're not taking into account the loyalty that you want out of your woman. I come from a different mentality. I come from a different culture.
Yeah,
you understand? If you're gonna sit there and you're gonna, love doesn't matter and this and this and that, so on and so forth. I'm with the masses. I don't have that kind of mentality.
No, I understand. I only care about loyalty for my son and my daughter. That's it. I don't care about. I come from a warrior thought process.
You don't think that's slightly sociopathic?
No, because that happens throughout history, sir. Respectfully to your style of kung fu, I do not dismiss it. It's your style of kung fu. My style of kung fu is I put my son first, my daughter second. I don't put women in that category like that. They come and go.
So you don't. So let me get this straight. You owe no loyalty to the woman that gave you those children.
I owe loyalty if she self-checks herself and keeps herself in line with my leadership. I'm not going to abuse her. I'm not going to cheat on her. I'm not going to give her a reason to feel like other chicks. Now, what she does with that goes left for whatever her fantastical reasons. I'm not mad at her. Let me get the evidence. Let's go to court, make that happen. You ain't going to separate me from my son and my daughter, period.
Oh, wait a minute. So now I get it. So the mentality that you have is because there's an issue there. That's
issue. I lived over.
That's influenced you. That's influenced you to think this way.
Okay, I lived overseas for 4 years. I lived in Romania when I was 19, France, England, and the grill. So I got oversaturated with international thinking before the internet. And what those guys taught me in all of those countries was the man and the son, that's it. That's it. You don't, daughter, that's it. Man and daughter, man and son. Women come and go. A Romanian dude told me when I was trying to learn Romania. Romanian. He was like, look, women don't matter. They come and go. What matters is your connection with your seed. Nothing else matters. So if you got to deal with this chick, give her half, whatever, do that. Don't you dare touch my kids. So this is why you hear Italians or even Boston white women. Johnny was beating me, but I'm not going to keep my children from their father. Because that's the mentality of most of everybody, is that it's all about these kids. So if a woman chooses to go and another woman comes in to replace, I don't hate her. I understand she is manipulating the game, but I don't expect loyalty because she's a human being. She's liable to go left even if I put diamonds on the floor. But if she does what you're saying, sir, and remains a loyal dude, of course. I mean, a loyal girl, of course. I go against any dude, but on her behalf. But again, if I walk in the house and I see her screwing you, I'm pulling out the video camera for court evidence because all I care about is my connection to my kids. I don't expect loyalty from another human being, not even my best friend. They liable to do it, but I'm so glad if they don't. But this is why I'm not mad at people, sir. I haven't had an argument since 2004 because of my philosophy. I'm not surprised if my homeboy betrayed me. I'm not surprised. These are human beings we dealing with. But all I care about is my connection to my seed, and I will protect that no matter what.
I look at it completely different. I respect your point of view, but I look at it.
Respect your kung fu, sir.
All right.
So basically,
Okay.
what you're saying is you hate women. I'm just joking.
No,
I'm just
stop.
joking. I'm just joking.
Let me just finish playing this whole thing, and then we'll be able to wrap it up.
So you can aim whatever you want to, but unfortunately, men across the board, low value to high, control access to relationship. That's what we control. So this is what I was saying earlier. Ladies across the board, you can have your standards, your point of view, but when it comes right down to it, the way you guys were talking is if you had leverage over the kind of men that was in the discussion. You don't. Those men have leverage over the women. You're not competing. You're competing with the women around him. There, everything that you ladies are saying, I won't tolerate this, such and so forth. There are plenty of other women to be like, shit, okay, fine. What else? Is that it? No problem.
Saying we're not 1% like they.
I'm saying that there are more women wanting them than there are men. There's 1%. That means 99% aren't. And almost 100% of women want the same 1% of men. The Petro principle.
Oh, yeah.
There are more women trying to, okay, you've all been into a club at some point in your life. There's a regular club and there's VIP. The guys who are in VIP are looked at differently than the guys who are standing online.
That's not fair, Kevin.
Well, what the guys in VIP had to make. See, the thing is, one thing that most women don't seem to realize, and it's very simple. Women are born with inherent value. So they really can't understand the concept that we men have to deal with, that we have to make ourselves valuable. So when men hear that we have to make ourselves valuable, we accept the world as it is, and we don't sit back and say, well, it's not fair. We just deal with the world as it is. Here's the principle. Women can never objectively understand the male journey and struggle, so don't try to explain. In general, they see everything through rose-colored glasses, being born with inherent value. You earn all of your value as a man, and it's your greatest opportunity that you could hope for. Women are born with value, men are not.
Y'all had your struggle. The women are still struggling right now.
I was gonna say it's
Clearly.
way harder to be a woman than a man.
I said value, ma'am. I said value.
Yourselves
No, you went to how hard it is. I said value.
Nobody's feeling sorry for themselves here.
I said value.
Really
So
you're entitled to something better because your struggle's been harder.
no one. See, men don't think we're entitled to anything. That's why we said don't even. No, what I said was men should not try to explain.
If you weren't entitled, you wouldn't sit here and tell me I don't deserve the same.
No, you can knock the sign language off. It doesn't work on me. What I was saying is men should not try to objectively articulate your struggle and journey to be a man because women are born with inherent value. See,
Kevin, she stopped listening. It's.
I know, and I'm about to run, but I'm gonna say this for the audience. Thank you for having me on, guys. And these are valuable back and forth because what needs to happen more often than not is women who have these strong beliefs just question their beliefs, question why they believe what they believe, and then if it stands up, it stands up. If it doesn't, okay. But it's not. We're not being fair. We're not being rude.
Okay. All right. So that was pretty much it. What do you guys think so far on everything Kevin Samuels was saying? Do you guys 100% agree with them? Disagree with them? You know what I'm saying?
Personally, I don't ever 100% agree with somebody, but the thing about when he debates with people, he brings facts. He brings stats.
Yeah.
A lot of people bring emotion, and they think that because they get upset or they might talk over somebody, that they're winning. And it's like, nah, this and this and this and this is the reason because this and this and this, and then that person can't really offer a rebuttal. Then it's like, all right, that's why. But I do agree that those conversations should happen more often because there is this preconceived notion of double standards that are going on, but half of the time those double standards aren't really double standards. Those are just people's high opinions of themselves.
Marcel, real quick, I'll be right back. But Marcel, hold it down real quick. I'll be right back. All right, guys? Talk amongst yourselves.
All right. Okay, he's gonna go check his girl. You better cook these.
But yeah, I'm telling you, look, listen. For somebody that's lived in multiple countries, I'm telling you, you only see feminization in America, Canada, and Britain. You don't
That's
really
all.
see them in other countries.
Are you talking about feminization as in feminization of men, or are you talking about feminism? Because I'm confused.
Both ways. It can go both ways.
It can go both ways. Right.
Yeah, but like as far as
Let's just
feminist
call it
movements, yeah.
anti-male. You don't see anti-male speakers at a high rate in other countries.
No. Because there's
So
that established.
basically,
There's that. Go ahead.
no. Basically, what you're saying is you're not gonna see the traditional gender roles be challenged outside of first world countries.
Yes, that's true.
You will see. It's what he and I are saying, and this is just my example in the early '90s. I'm not glorifying this. I'm just telling you what it is. Have you ever heard of May September romances?
That sounds very familiar to me.
May September romances are a norm in Europe. That means older guy with the younger woman, older woman with the younger guy. Not too many. Yeah, not too many people date their age.
Okay.
So when I was out there, it was before the internet. Internet created in '95. This sounds creepy to you guys. It was the norm out there where I was. It's nothing to see a 32, 34-year-old dude back then with a 16-year-old chick. That was norm.
Well, if it's in Europe,
Yeah, Europe.
I know, like, what is it? The legal age is like 15, 16?
Right.
Is it
Right.
15?
So that's why USA guys and USA women, USA people get so thrown off when they see stuff. But guess what? 95% of the planet is operating the way that you find disgusting.
Yeah. Just curious, what other countries did you live in? Did you happen to live in like Europe or Germany or anything like that?
Well, I passed through Austria and Germany. I mean, I didn't find it appealing because it was all land. I mean, just farmland to me. But I lived in Romania, France, England, and then I went to Negril, and then came back to America, Sacramento, Seattle, Oregon, and Atlanta.
Yeah,
quick question for both of you
I
guys.
lived in some European country. Go ahead.
Quick question: do you think religion had anything to do with that?
Good question.
Because religion might have something to do with that.
No, aristocrat. Europeans. It's the
No,
reason.
I don't mean your personal one. I mean like the church or Islam or whatever. The religious influence.
Explain the connection.
Well, like in Islam, women are seen as inferior to men. So in Islamic countries,
it's aristocrat. So most European countries want to be kings and queens on a county level. So if you own a bunch of land, you're trying to marry into somebody that owns all the lumber. So you're willing to marry the daughter or court the daughter, ugly as she may be, so that you can be the lumber king in 10 years flat.
No, I got a question. So you're talking about you're using the word aristocrat. Now we all know that Eastern Europe, which you say you've been through, right? We're talking about Eastern Europe that was under the influence of like Soviet style communism and so on and so forth. Are you telling me that everybody, every person on the class in throughout the different classes exhibit this sort of behavior?
No, I don't say every. I say majority. Majority of people are trying to be kings and queens for going from Turkey, which used to be known as Troy in the Bible, all the way over to India. Everybody's trying to be kings and queens of their region. But maybe Mr. Sundown might disagree. He's been out there too. So let's see what he says.
Oh no, that's facts.
So that's two people
especially when you start, especially like Turkey and just the Middle East in general. Nah, it's completely different. Completely different ball game.
And what like
ain't no religion.
The average person, if you live in say like Turkey or Iraq or Afghanistan, you don't really get married unless there's a benefit to it. Meaning that, just like he said, so like I might have a lot of cattle, right? So I would marry my son off to a girl who has a lot of land. So that way, when we marry, I have more room to grow more cattle and make more money. And she makes more money off of my cattle as well. It's never really I love this person, I'm just going to marry this person. I'm not saying that happens 100% of the time. Even in India, if you go to India, a lot of those marriages are arranged just because of benefits of what can I gain from marrying my daughter off to this guy. Okay, this guy is an oil tycoon. I have 2 oil businesses. We can combine our businesses. We can make more money. That's usually how it is.
How about this guy? This guy's uncle owns a plaza, and I'm gonna marry into him just to get access to the uncle.
Well, I mentioned religion because in both Islam and Christianity, there is a tendency to have the idea that women are beneath the man because Adam was created first, right? So I don't know if you know about that. But
It's not that simple in religions. Let's look at the religion that is no religion, the non-religion of Pharaoh, because Pharaoh called himself God. Even in that religion, which is a habit, I just call all these religions habits that you perform on your own personal life for some level of perfection. I practice Bushido, so I understand it. But look at Pharaoh. Even in Pharaoh, okay, it wasn't about women. It was about the class of person you are. Nobody cared about the brick maker. Nobody cared about the bricklayer. Nobody cared about the architect. Barely. They only really cared about Pharaoh. So let's dumb Egypt down under Pharaoh to a household. Nobody really cares about the son and the daughter in those situations. Nobody really cares about the wife. It's all about who's leading the household. If it's the mother leading the household, that's all that matters. So everything gets dumbed down to power. Is what I think me and Mr. Sundown is trying to say. It gets dumbed down to power. Religion doesn't come into it until third, because people outside of America are looking for power dynamics before they look for other stuff. So women are controlled in that way only because they don't carry the value as a, let's say, architect or a pharaoh. When they do, like the architect of China, she died, but when they do have that type of thing, then the power structure shifts to her, not because she's a woman, because she's powerful in connections. Go ahead.
So I imagine that in this part of the world that you guys are talking about, they have a system of a dowry.
Not every place has a dowry. Sometimes the dowry, like Mr. Sundown says, is the connection itself.
Is the connection itself.
Yeah.
So it's title, not gender. It's more title, which
It's
is
title. Yeah, it's title of what that household has as. And so, if they hold businesses or if they hold any kind of power, that's what they go for.
So it's tactical and political. It's tactical
Yes.
and political unions in order
Calculated,
to
always
Yes.
calculated. It's never by circumstance. Nothing is done haphazardly.
So what is
if you ever go to Dubai, the top 5% of Dubai, all of that was arranged a long time ago. Like those marriages that you see, because of business opportunities and financial gain.
Same thing.
You'll never see one of those 5%. You'll never see one of those 5% marry outside of that 5%.
So that's isn't that the practice of endogamy?
Say it again.
Isn't that the practice of endogamy, that you marry within a certain class of people?
Yes.
No,
you want to say that? Yes, you can say
that. Every form of kung fu living or form of lifestyle has some type of variation of title. I narrow it down to aristocrat because it's so simple for people to understand. You have 2 choices: leave your children land or dominate your enemies. That's all aristocrats do. So I don't use these other titles because it's harder to follow. In aristocrat, your son can be poor. I mean, have no money, but he owns land. So therefore he'll never be poor. Because there's always the option to rent, lease out.
Right.
So this is why in history you have dukes and duchesses that were broke but they own land. Or you had Chinese people who would leave their land in an effort to come back to it after the war. Same premise.
So, question for you guys. Like if you're like, let's say one of you guys are broke and you have a daughter, you just what do? You're broke. Who's gonna want to marry into who's gonna want to take your daughter as a wife then?
No, that happens. That happens.
Yeah,
But why?
I'm saying, like,
You're broke.
that doesn't happen 100% of the time. But what I'm saying is, when you get to that upper echelon, you see those millionaires in those countries, elites. That is because those countries elites, one person had this avenue right here, another person had this avenue, and so they married their daughter off, or they married their son, or they arranged the marriage, and boom, now both of them came up even further. But I'm not saying that poor people in these countries don't get married.
No, I mean that still sounds like they can't get a high value man, like with the topic that Kevin was talking about.
Oh, I see.
Women can't get high value men.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, because see, he and I are talking international. We're not talking USA.
Okay, I'm back, guys. My bad. I'm back. Had to deal with a phone call. My bad.
So
hypothetically, I'm speaking
international. So let's break it down to USA. You are right. If there's no connection, then that's not possible. But let me give you this consideration. In Atlanta, there's this area called the Cascade, and there's these families that kind of marry into each other a lot, and they come from old black money.
What part of Atlanta? What part of Atlanta?
Cascade area, above like you going out to Austell.
Okay, I lived in like very short. I lived in Buckhead. I had to get the fuck away from there.
This is over in Austell, like you going like you go past the colleges and you going out to the to Six Flags out that way.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's like going towards like where the airport is, right?
Right.
So out by where the airport. Okay,
that's all old black money. So let's say I am broke. Your daughter could still marry a title. I can still be a Winthrop. You still get access to my grandfather's legacy through your daughter.
Right, but why would
rare? That won't happen. But it's rare that would happen overseas.
Well, if you said why, because everybody except black people are doing stuff. Even Latin people are doing stuff more strategic than black people are. Even Dominicans are doing stuff more strategic. I mean, black folks, even Africans. This ain't no knock to them. This is just something we got to wake up from. We got to get more mentally strategic.
Facts.
We just got to get more mentally strategic.
I've said that in countless posts.
Yeah, do you think, Mr. Research? But let me ask you something, and this is just out of curiosity, to be honest, because I really trying to find out. And after I ask this, no, I'm asking. Don't worry about it. After I say this, I'm gonna let Comic speak because he just got into the room. Do you think the reason why black men need to learn from other cultures, like, as you said, Dominicans, Hispanic men, and stuff like that, is because even though black people are not a monolith, they kind of think in relationships as a monolith? You think that's the reason why, or no?
Well, because black people should be thinking monolithic. What does monolithic mean? Anybody know?
As a group?
No, it does not mean think alike. Does not mean as a group. Oh, well, somewhat as a group. It's somewhat as a group. What monolithic means is system or organization.
Okay.
So to be Hispanic is monolithic thinking. To be Latin is it's monolithic thinking. It doesn't matter that there's different sectors of the monolith. You all think proudly as Latins. Latinos is what you call yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So when you or even when you go to the Celts or the Franks or the Vikings, that type of mentality is quote unquote a system of organization. Monolith. Look it in the dictionary. That's what it is. Black people have been told by white people it means think alike. So Black people will say a phrase, think alike. We don't all think alike. We ain't monolithic. And the dictionary don't even support what the Black person is saying. Because the Black person many times get a lot of their information from the plantation great grandmother who passed it down and the plantation great grandfather. It's not nothing they can prove in theory. It's kind of like I was going to say to you, me and Kevin had talked a long time ago when he was on BGS show. And I said to Kevin, I don't have opinions, I have theories. He said, why is that? Because opinions by dictionary definition is emotional feelings without source. A man is supposed to have a theory. He's not supposed to have an opinion or a rant. Those are feminine things. What are your thoughts, Sundown? Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh no, it's facts. You can even look at it from this standpoint. When we were thinking collectively, right? You had Black Wall Street, and not just Black Wall Street, but other affluent African American areas. The only thing that you ever hear people talk about when you mention those areas is, okay, KKK came in, they burned it down, and they forced us out. But we don't ever talk about us putting our money together to build that. How did we get to Black Wall Street in the first place? It was because we had something bigger than ourselves that we looked at. It wasn't just about me making my money, this person making his money. We had that collective thinking of, all right, we're a people. Let's put our money together. Let's support ourselves. Let's take this land and turn it into whatever. Once I feel like it was a traumatic event that is, I guess you could say, like when people have a traumatic event, they turn to alcohol or they turn to drugs to ease the pain from what happened. I think that's what happened with a lot of African Americans in those times, whether it was Selma, whether it was Black Wall Street, whether it was Rosewood. We've had areas where we were affluent and we had money, and it always ended up having something bad happen to them. And there's a scar there that hasn't fully healed, which keeps us from coming together as a collective again and putting our money together and building off of that.
Wouldn't it be so beautiful if Black men in the USA had a traditional dance like salsa where their sons can see them dominate the women on the dance floor?
But you got some people that think that our culture is hip hop.
Again,
and that's it.
Wouldn't it be beautiful if Black American men had a dance like bachata, where their sons can see them dominate the woman, their mother, that on the dance floor? We don't have that. We don't have anything close to machismo. Go ahead.
I think it goes a little bit more. I mean, we're talking about a systematic breakdown that's been happening damn near since the Emancipation Proclamation. I mean, the whole premise of 40 acres and a mule was never even fulfilled. So right there, you're dealing with an empty promise, and even through that, Black Americans still managed to pull their resources together to create some really beautiful things like Black Wall Street. But then again, it was brutally taken away from them. Anytime Black people in this country have ever tried to assert themselves in a positive manner, there has always been a severe pushback to that. We saw that all through we saw that through the Depression. We saw that through Jim Crow. We saw that through the 50s. Even with the approval of the 64 civil rights, there was still a severe pushback where Black men started becoming a target for, and I'm going to say it, for white supremacy, for the white supremacy power structure that still till this day exists. But a lot of people like to be like an ostrich. They'll stick their hand in the ground and then they'll say that it doesn't exist.
But if you were in Latino,
Mr. Research, somebody just said the two-step. Would you agree to that?
Right? No, not at all.
Mr. Research, would you say that Black Americans don't have a culture? Would you agree with that?
Well, but Mr. Research, I think that our I wouldn't say forefathers, we're not going back, but like our dads and stuff like that, when they were like dancing soul music with, with a sister with an afro, and stuff like that. I think that was a show of, I wouldn't say dominance. I wasn't gonna use that kind of language, but it showed a guy asserting himself and putting on a display for a woman so that she can see his power and prowess and stuff like that. You
Well,
wouldn't say?
here's the problem with that, and I forgot your question, Mr. R. I just need to answer this one
Oh,
quick.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt somebody? Let
Yeah,
me.
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
yeah.
asking him a
I'm
question
fall
about,
back. I'm fall
but
back.
it's related to what you just said because
Okay, so
I
here's
was
the
talking
problem,
about
gentlemen.
culture
Here,
because you
here,
were talking about the monoliths, and that seems to also include culture. And the dances that you were talking about um, do have dominance because it's a male dominant type of culture. Where what you just said, that's going to differ from man to man, place to place. So again, it proves that Black Americans do not have a standard or universal culture that you can actually put a finger on like other cultures do.
okay, so real quick, because other people got to speak, but what is culture? Culture is traditions, gentlemen. Culture is traditions that date back. So the problem is, even if I were to agree with you, you would have to keep that tradition going. Okay. You cannot say, well, this happened in New Jersey back in 2019, to 2020, and therefore we have a culture, because that's how we got jump the broom. That's how Black people thought jump the broom was really an African tradition, when actually it was something created by massa to make the Blacks feel like they achieved something, so they would uh, uh, do less fight back. And then as Africans saw the movie Roots and start questioning the whole jump the room theory, you come to find out nobody in Africa does that.
Right.
So it's kind of dangerous to say, well, that's a show of culture, or that's a show of, okay, even if I was to agree with you, you got to keep it up, because you got to connect it. If not, you jeopardize it becoming a jump the broom thing after you and I are long dead and gone.
Well, my question was, do you believe that is no culture? There is no Black
There is
American
no culture here. No, there's no culture here, because
Right. Because a lot
yeah,
of immigrants think that Black Americans have a culture, and
no,
that's
they
false.
say this is why I created the term and I put it on my page. Mr. Research created the phrase flag culture. This is why I created the flag culture, because flag culture lets you know definitely radical can leave here, go to Germany, see his flag at a restaurant, go in and feel somewhat at home, getting all the information of Germany from one of his flag brethren. Same thing with the Dominican brother. He don't even have to like a lot of Dominicans, but he has the opportunity to go to Kakistan right now, see a Dominican flag flying at a tax place, go in and say, my fellow Dominican brother, how you doing? I just came here to Kakistan. Oh, welcome, man. Let me tell you everything that's going on. We got another Dominican brother down here who does this. He gets all the information. If I leave and I go to England and see an American flag, I ain't getting no connection like that.
Exactly. The immigrants, a lot of Latinos, Hispanics,
That's why I call it flag
Asians,
culture.
they think that there's a Black culture. There is no such thing as African American culture or Black culture here.
I'd have to disagree with both of you guys. That's
Okay, so
that's
tell me what it is.
because here's the thing, right?
Explain in detail why you
Hold on,
don't
hold on.
just say it.
Hold on. The flag culture thing. I like that concept, but as far as African Americans, I don't think you guys have to go anywhere. I think you've planted roots here, and it's strong enough here. Like you've
You just
you've invented
change the topic.
basically. Hold on. Basically, you've invented modern music, for example. The NBA, though, it would still be white boys throwing. If you guys look up what basketball looked like before black people showed up, that's what that would still look like. You guys have. I'm assuming you're African American, Mr. Research, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. you guys have built something here by yourself, whether you're still connected to whatever land you've been dispossessed of in Africa or not. You've built something here, and I think that's the culture to go towards Roy Chess. Roy Chess, I think African Americans do have a culture. It's just split up into subcultures. Like Atlanta, like dudes from Atlanta, they behave and speak differently from dudes in New York, dudes in Philly, stuff like that. But there are commonalities because there are, I'd say, what we call landmarks, landmark periods in African American history, like the Motown movement. You know, that's kind of like an era from like the late 50s onto to the late 70s and stuff like that, where the music kind of swept America, and you have not basketball, but like the sports movement era, which is kind of like the 80s and 90s, where like everyone would stop, like the entire world would stop to watch the I mean, I was too young to really process all of it, but I remember like people all over like the planet stopping to watch you know, the what do you call that, the Olympics, the Olympics with the dream team and all that shit. You guys have a culture, in my opinion. It's just
You are
divided
confusing.
into subcultures.
You are confusing appreciation with power. So let me explain really quickly why.
Confusing what with power? Confusing what with power?
Appreciation, black appreciation with black power. Okay.
Okay.
The reason being, a black man invented the first car before Henry Ford did. But who is known for inventing a car year after year? Henry Ford. Okay.
Yeah,
A black man invented the better light bulb that you're using right now with a paper filament as opposed to a copper filament. But who is the light bulb known for inventing? Bell. So what black people do, even in 2021, even with the computer guys, you patch up white people's shit. You help white people. You are the Buffalo Soldier who hunts down the Native American Indian because the white man is too weak to do it. And at the end of you doing it, you kill yourself and you kill the Native American, but the white man gets the glory. You have no culture. Time after time, even when Africans come here to work, they say, you black people are lazy. Look, we're able to make money. Okay, Mr. African, can you go back to Nigeria and stop your Nigerian government for shooting people just for holding up a sign? We don't want no toll booths. Sir, yes, you're making money here in America, but can you go back and pave your own roads for 20 G's? Oh, you're not going to do none of that? Okay, I hear you. This is the problem, is that we have so many inconsistencies as Africans, Haitians, Caribbeans, and USA blacks. We got to take a note from the Latins, from the Franks, from the Russians. We got to get some nobility going on here. We got to be something to revere after we dead. We can't just say we built for the white man. Last point. I go back to my Pharaoh point. Don't nobody know who invented the first pyramid brick, but he built the brick. He built the pyramid. Don't nobody who laid the first pyramid brick. We don't know. All we know, Pharaoh. And until we stop letting Pharaoh take all the freaking credit and bankroll each other and finance each other, this problem will keep going on.
And I would like to say, comment that you're also confusing.
That was a good point. I like that.
I like what Mr. Research just said. I am gonna start wrapping it up now. So I want to go just down the line.
Ready? Your girl says she ready. It's time.
I'm not gonna speak about such. I'm not gonna speak about such things online. All right, other people might be listening. What was it? I'm gonna go down the line to get the final thoughts. So I
only got 15 seconds.
All right. Let Mr. Research go first. All right, Mr. Research, final thoughts.
15 seconds. Hey, look, gentlemen. Don't have an opinion on things. Have a theory. Make sure you actually research everything you believe. Nigeria's name is not really Nigeria. It's really the Nok Empire and Neri. Cameroon did not become a real place until the Portuguese called it Cameroon. It used to be the west side of Nok. So we got to be a little bit more researched in what we, because sometimes I'll come across like an arrogant asshole with all this information, but it's only because not enough of us know that these things actually exist. And we're using women's knowledge and women's logic a lot of times when we got to be thinking what's best for our sons after we're gone. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much. All right. I want Fighter to go next. Yo, Fighter.
Damn, why has it be me for
Yo, bro, you were quiet this whole time, bro. Shit, you didn't contribute nothing.
You leave me alone. Go to somebody else. I'll be back. I'll go.
Yo, Jones, what's going on, Jones?
Leave me somebody last.
Any final thoughts, bro?
All I could say is I'm learning a lot. I'm 25, and man, it's taking me back. But all I could say is, I have experience living in a feminist world.
Yeah.
And my Dominican father was never in my life. Never. And I'm like the sixth child, but I'm raised, I'm to be honest with you, being raised on my own, you learn what it's like to be stuck and try to fight your way for the truth instead of being trapped in the feminist mindset. Whether you have a disability or not, you need to overcome that you can do it, that you can be successful, and you can live in the real world.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
No,
and
go
so
ahead,
like,
you got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. All right. I am maybe a Jones, but I'm also a Peralta from my father's side. But I'm not going to do the things what my father did because I am the next generation
Yeah.
to be a man, becoming a man. So
you can break that curse.
Exactly, breaking that curse, and that's such a blessing.
All right. Stop it. Damn, that's mad loud. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Remember,
Yeah,
don't
no
be a
problem.
stranger. Definitely come back, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Hey, always y'all family. Yay.
All
Always here.
right. Yeah, for real. All right, peace. All right, Mr. Brown, what's going on, bro? Cornell, yo. Cornell.
It looked like the Connect Four joint. It looked like the Connect Four joint.
Yeah, it does, right? Yo, Mr. Brown. Yo, Mr.
He
Brown.
might be asleep.
Ah, shit.
Nah,
I think
something's wrong with his mic. Something's wrong with your
something's
mic.
wrong with
Mike.
Mr. Brown, just come
back.
come right back. Come right back. Just refresh the page. Just come right back.
Or
All
check
right.
check to see what your output is, Mr. Brown. See if you're going through your speaker or your headphone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm gonna let Roy Chess come in and give his final thoughts. What's up, Roy Chess? What's going on?
So I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but you probably think that anyway. But
No, you good, bro.
If I'm not gonna look at it from a kid coming up, a young boy coming up. It's gonna be hard, bro, to have masculine traits if there is no masculine figures in your life. You're being raised by your mom, no uncles. You have aunts, friends. Your mother's girlfriends and things like that. I know a lot of families like that where there's almost no masculine male figure. And so what is a brother gonna do? And by the time he's 25, he might get some knowledge. He might run into the wrong crowd or whatever. But look at all those years that was wasted. that
Yeah.
if he had a father figure at 5 or 6, he could have come out different. So you're stuck in a kind of a hard place because what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's not like he could have avoided it. And by the
Yeah.
time he learns something, he might have to learn the hard way, which puts him way behind the power curve for everybody else, for the guys who have masculine figures. And again,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
goes back
Yeah.
to culture too.
Yeah. It
If
does.
there is
It
no
does.
culture, then you're that's the double whammy. Like if you're
Yeah.
born into a machismo family, even if you have an uncle once in a while, you may get a little something. But if I have no culture, no nothing, I have nothing. And
Yeah.
by the time I get something, I might be 30, 35, 40,
Yeah.
single, living on my own or in
Yeah.
my mom's basement.
Yeah.
So that's kind of rough. How is he supposed to get out of that? That's like a no-win position sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. Thank you, Mr. Roy Chess, for coming in. And enjoying the show. Don't be a stranger, bro. Come on in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, cool. I'm all right. He left. Shit, my fault. Now fighter. You want to go next?
After this one, yeah, after this guy, after
After
this
this,
guy,
this guy,
yeah.
this fucking guy. Marcel, give me your final thoughts, bro.
It was an interesting conversation and interesting topic tonight. I think that the whole thing by Kevin Samuels, I don't think they made a convincing argument. In fact, he pretty much handed their asses to them. And I mean, there's really nothing else to say about that. And I'm not just saying that because he's a man and they were women. It's just that they had no valid arguments to validate their points. That's number one. Number two, I'm a little perturbed about the whole thing with African Americans not having culture. I think what's going on is that the system has perpetuated a myth that has made a spectacle in
Hello?
image that have been here for years building the goddamn country up.
Yep.
And that's in no way deserving to have them reduced to some sort of a for other.
Hey, Macio,
So
your mic is like cutting out.
I would hope that there could be that someone can make a better
Oh shit! I think his mic is cutting out.
Yeah, your connection's spotty, Marcel.
music, sports, and whatever else satisfies the whims of.
Oh shit! Okay, damn. I guess it must have been the feminists got him. I guess the
Yeah,
feminists
the feminists got him.
Marcel, if you're hearing this, come right back. I think we lost you. But on the contrary, fighter, want you to go give me your final thoughts, bro.
All right. What's going on? So, when it comes to feminism and all these different type of groups and school of thoughts, I feel like people shouldn't get caught up in these paradigms. Like, hey, man, listen, don't get caught up in all these little groups that once you become part of them, you start to limit yourself or don't think they're an actual threat, right? Because you create your own reality. So, like I was saying before, logic versus over emotion in my stream that I just made. I just focus on yourself and follow what you want to do. I feel like sometimes these conversations could be dangerous because then people start thinking like this is absolute reality that it's only a threat if you believe in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel, and just hey man, everybody, have a good night. Follow my Instagram page and my YouTube, Fighter Complex 7. And I see y'all tomorrow, Tuesday, whatever, man. Have a great night, everybody.
Hell
All right, peace.
Yeah.
Cornell, what's going on, bro? I think you.
How's the mic now, Cornell?
How's your mic, bro?
Oh Lord.
Jesus.
Hello.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's probably a tiny problem. Like he has the feed on the wrong selection.
Probably,
Yeah,
yo,
like speakers or headphones and stuff like that.
Mr. Brown, speaks to see if we can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you, but you sound muffled. Like
Yeah,
someone abducted you.
Slow, yeah, super slow. Like you're being kidnapped and shit.
Yeah, like they put the chloroform over your your nose and mouth, yo.
Yeah. Oh man.
And this was a great stream, and I came in late up in here, man.
Cornell,
But-
maybe next time, because I gotta keep it moving.
Next time, Cornell. But let me say this, yo.
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, because I'm gonna head out. I gotta head out. But listen, feminists, man, I love y'all. Listen,
the Wi-Fi died.
You need to. Who's your Wi-Fi died, Marcel?
Marcel's Wi-Fi died.
Listen, feminists, I love y'all, man. Listen, you need to. Whenever one of your feminist leaders start telling you stuff, you need to look at their background and what their life choices are. For example, Jessica Valenti, she told y'all don't need no man, but she married a rich dude. She told y'all that y'all the important ones. She married a rich dude. Gloria Steinem married a super rich dude. I don't know where their relationship is at now, but she married a super rich dude. But I love y'all. Now I'm gonna speak to the dudes. Hey, don't fuck with no feminists, yo. Yo, they damaged good, son. If don't marry a feminist, whatever you do. Smash and dash, bang and burn, hit and quit, boom and zoom, trounce and bounce, dig in, dig out and head out. Grieve and leave, nigga. Pump and dump. Don't fuck with them. They are damaged goods. They're gonna end up cutting your dick off. If you've seen the news coming out of China, feminism starting to invade China, and they doing that kind of shit to well-meaning niggas. So don't fuck with them. I'm out.
All right. Okay. I couldn't have said it better myself, I guess. All right. Thank you, Comic, for coming in. I'm gonna have Marcel come in. Harlem, I see you in the back. I'm wrapping it up. I'm not gonna let nobody come in. Maybe next time for another show. Sorry about that. No hard feelings, bro. But I'm just wrapping it up. Marcel, sorry that your Wi-Fi or whatever happened.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
No, I would urge people to, read like the autobiography of Malcolm X. I would urge people to read about Nat Turner. I would urge people to read about the Black Panthers, even though you may not agree with them ideologically. They did stand for something that was very real, and it was reflective of the problems that African Americans had throughout the 50s and 60s. There's a reason why these groups and why these people existed, and I do believe that has a lot, that is part of African American culture. Even if you want to try to separate these figures from so-called culture, they're actually an integral part of it. It's a culture of resistance. It's a culture of fighting for ideals, even though we're led to believe that Black Americans are disorganized and they're uneducated. They're fighting for a piece of the pie that's been denied for far too long. And I really believe that there will be a reckoning at some point when it really comes down to it. So I urge everybody to at least, if you're really interested in finding out and what I believe is the real culture of the African Americans, read their history. Because to just reduce them to a spectacle, again, it's vile. And it shows a complete disrespect and a clear misunderstanding of a historical president that still is being forged till this day.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you very much, Marcel.
You got it, brother. Enjoy myself. Peace out.
All right. Peace. All right. Sundown. What's going on, bro? Give us your final thoughts.
I would just say in a land of, or in a time of emotion, just stay diligent in researching. Always research. If you hear something, research it. So that way you have valid points. So whenever you hear someone bring up something, there's a lot of times I feel like people parrot things off of each other. So one person heard this, now this person says it, somebody heard him say that, now this person is saying it. Before you know, that's a known fact that isn't really true and doesn't have any kind of foundation. So just always research. Make sure you know the material, so that way you'll always be covered whenever you hear some nonsense. Because a lot of people talk with emotion, and when you have facts, you can't really go wrong. You know what I mean? And I think everything else was kind of said by everybody else on the panel. So thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
hopefully in the future I can join another one of your streams. All right.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a good one, bro. Peace. All right. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Shout out to everybody that participated. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Shout out to everybody that was moderating the chat. I seen a lot of people getting deleted, blocked, and all the other craziness. Shout out to y'all. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody right now that's still listening. Blood Moon Universe, Fighter, Marcel, Comic, Pure, Morena. Even if you're a hater, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Jay, Crazy Boy, Cornell, Miss H, all of them. Shout out to y'all that are still listening. Remember, these are just our opinions, my opinions. These are not based in any facts whatsoever. These are just all opinions. So if you got something against either what we say, what we said, how we think, is just based on opinion. We're not the emperors of anything. You know what I'm saying? Also, look out for my next podcast episode. Fighter said, I'm your number one hater. Yo, shout out to Fighter. Listen, look out for my next podcast episode, because I am going to be announcing something very important, something that everybody has been fucking asking me since day one. Everybody's been asking me for day fucking one. I have a date for you guys, and I'll be announcing it on my next episode. All right? I'm going to be announcing that thing that everybody's been asking me from day motherfucking one. I'm going to be announcing it, so you guys can look forward to it and all of this other stuff and blasey, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm going to catch everybody later. Peace.